last night to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture of these could be his shoes, or is that so he is presumed to be barefoot at this point?
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house. I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
All right.
Allegedly!
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. Here's a brief disclaimer for tonight's show. Let's watch.
That's ignorant! Allegedly, that's ignorant! Ignorant.
Judgment, Austin.
Chloe, you read my thoughts. You've got the shinin.
You mean shining?
Shh, you wanna get sued?
Judgment, Austin.
You just use that shin of yours to call me and I'll come a running. But don't be reading my mind between 4 and 5. That's Willie's time.
Hey, yo, boss. I love him when he does that.
Let's watch.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. And it's so good to see all of you guys. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for being here. I see Dawn Emery. Good to see you, Dawn Emery. In Town Chat Cafe. So good to see you. Dawn's going to be hiding in the bushes today. Uh-oh, there's a T-Rex in the bushes, guys. Good to see you, Town Chat Cafe. Thank you for being here. Hey, Peggy. Good afternoon. And Mama, good afternoon to Valley Gal. Good to see you guys. And Kathy Bartholomew. Also, Lisa King. So nice to see you, too. Thank you for rocking out in the chat, to a little AC/DC, little Money by Roger Waters. We'll just say that. Pink Floyd. I love this. This is so funny. Denise Harris said she's doing egg salad sandwich tonight. Get that sandwich, Denise. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. And then also, here's Lisa King rocking out. We also see Social Butterfly. Good to see you, Social Butterfly. Thank you for being here, GA64. So nice to see you. Hey, Twists and Turns. Nice to see you. Thank you so much, Social Butterfly. So we have a lot to get into today. And sorry, I'm getting on a little bit late this afternoon, but I don't think I'm going to do a night live tonight because I really need to get some daytime intros going and different things. I have a lot to do. I also want to put out the information on writing to officials and things like that, right? So, because we can all do our part. And we were lucky enough to have Dog in here last night, Dog the Bounty Hunter in the chat. Dog is an amazing person, guys. I watched him back in the day, right? I mean, I know we all did. And he shared a lot of information with us. I still haven't even been able to fully process what was shared with us, but I want to kind of put it into maybe a quick video, something that we can watch, just in case people weren't in the chat, or sometimes, I like to watch the lives without the chat on, unless I'm looking at specific things in the chat. There's certain things that I do look for in chats. People sometimes will say things, talk is cheap, right? But at the end of the day, sometimes people are willing to divulge more in the chat. So, I mean, I do watch both, but I also like to listen to what's being presented. And I think a lot of times it's really, really tough when we're in the chat, we're seeing our friends, and it's so nice to see everyone, and we're saying hello, we're checking on people. Hey, Scranton Strangler, good to see you. And, we just don't get a chance to um, yes, GA64. Dog is an amazing soul. He really is. He's a godly man. He stands up for what's right. He tries to bring justice, right? That's what we all try to do. And, if we listen to Yoda, hey, Mama Davis, there is no try, there's only do, right? But when you're doing your best, you're at least trying, right? so I look at it that way too. We've watched the Sebastian Rogers case unfold on the internet, but I've done my best to bring in mainstream media also. And so I wanted to go back over some of the footage from mainstream media, and then also bring in some of the things that were said by Chris and Katie online too, because they were very comfortable to go online and chat with people. Hey, Daisy Duke, good to see you. And just chat with people very candidly, in my opinion. And then behind the scenes, they've had phone calls with people, we found out, right? Thankfully, these people are strong enough, courageous enough, care enough about Sebastian to share this with all of us, because it is a public safety concern when there is a child, a young man who should be, thinking about driving. At least, Sebastian, if you're listening, think about it, because driving is overwhelming, and you have to pay attention. And I'm one that likes to ride shotgun and not be in the driver's seat, right? But it's a necessary part, and it's super fun when you can, go off and do what you want to do. Ain't it funny how Chris and Katie Proudfoot don't want Dog on the case? It is really weird to me, Denise. They don't want anyone who is of any type of value to finding Sebastian. They don't want us even wearing the t-shirts to Pigfest. There are some people that are really upset about that. And that tells me a whole heck of a lot. A whole heck of a lot. And, I want to bring in another video, another audio clip that was shared from Bobby the neighbor. And she talks about the neighbors witnessing someone carrying something over their shoulder that night. Yet we don't see it in anything that's been shared, especially their recent update, which, you all know how I feel about it. If you want to know how I really feel about it, just go back and watch my live from last night. I was in rare form. Not that you haven't seen me like that before. I was pretty peeved off last night. I really was, because when I go over and I check out a newly released document that is supposed to be from the Federal Bureau of Investigations, and it is just full of lies and manipulation and crap, I get pissed, right? It's just, that's how it is, what it is, right? And I can sit here and get mad until I spontaneously combust. I can get so mad, right? But at the end of the day, nobody really cares. It's how I feel. It's upsetting to me, and it's upsetting to a lot of you fine folks. And I appreciate you guys and your support, because nobody should be okay with this. At the very least, it should kind of bother you a little bit. And if it doesn't, then I can't do anything for you, right? But what I like to do when I get really, really mad, right? Because I could just sit here and be so mad, right? And it's not going to do jack. But what I like to do is I like to turn that into a motivation. I like to turn that into, what can I do now? Because I can sit here and be mad. Sure. That's a big fat waste of energy, in my opinion. Or I can do something with it. I can harness that energy into something positive. And I'm always going to do that. If I complain about something, by God, you better believe that I will be coming up for a solution for it, because it helps no one or nothing for me to sit here and be mad, right? That's a little advice for Mr. Proudfoot. You can get as mad as you want, buddy boy. You can get those man boobies all in a tizzy. But at the end of the day, if you don't try to find a solution, then you're part of the problem, right? And Eric Craddock, Brandon Carter, all of you other yahoos, idiots that chimed in the FBI release, do your job and find Sebastian. Do your job and find Sebastian. Because the last time I checked, even if I was at McDonald's flipping burgers and I wasn't flipping them correctly, I would be looking for another job. I'd be down at the BK Lounge trying to find a job at BK, frying up some chicken sandwiches. Okay? So stop putting your hand out for a raise. In no sector, in no job, no matter how piddly the job may seem to anyone else, is that going to fly. You either do your job, you're productive of your day, of your 8 hours, or your 6, or whatever it is, or you're not going to have a job anymore. Why are you any different? Why are you so special in your own little brain? No matter who is corrupt in this situation, we're going to find out who it is, because people are looking at Sumner County. People are looking at you. The whole entire world is watching you. Thank you, GA64. Oh boy, I was just so revved up. I was revved up. But it's because Sebastian means something to me. His life matters to me. And I know it matters to you guys. I know the people that are in here. I see you guys. I see you guys in other people's chats. You know? Hey, Kiki. Are you going to have some big plans tonight, Kiki, with your hubby? That's fun. That is fun. Yeah. I'm just going to take a little bit of a break tonight, guys, because I probably won't be doing like any day shows on the weekend, but if I can fit one in, I will. I just kind of fit them in as I do on the weekends, because it's kind of, a different schedule. Yeah. Oh, Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom. Yeah. He Dog came in the chat last night, said some really amazing things, guys. Go back and, I know I always tell you guys to listen to the presenter and don't pay attention to the chat as much. But then here I'm telling you, go back and watch the live chat. I always leave my live chats on, guys. I do, because look, what if somebody says something that I miss, so I can go back and look. And then also, maybe Seth might want to look through my live chat and see what people are saying. Maybe Chris and Katie would want to look through it. Hell, if the police want to look through it, maybe they might find something of value. If they actually researched or tried, they might find something. They just might. What a concept. Dog came in and was telling us about how he went and talked to the owners of the Texas Roadhouse. It's a mom and pop, right? That owns the Texas Roadhouse there. You can buy into a franchise of any type. Most places, most chains, you can buy a piece of the franchise, right? So, like, if I wanted to go and buy up a Texas Roadhouse, I would just have to make sure that I upheld the standard of the Texas Roadhouse. Same thing with McDonald's, Burger King, any of those, right? And in that regard, then I am. Oh, thank you, show. I just got your email. Hey, Naughty McPoppins, good afternoon. But yes, nevertheless, they work there as well, right? And Dog was talking about the green hoodie, right? And I'm going to put it into a video, but guys, very eye-opening. This is not about the locals. It's not about the locals. It's about the corruption that is going on with some of them, right? It's very difficult when you grow up with or go to school with someone and you think you know them. It's just like any other abusive situation. Some of us have slept next to a person like that, right? Sleeping with the enemy. I think Detroit talks about that too in the chat. I always like seeing that because it's true. Thank you, Diane. I know I was spent, Diane. Oh my gosh. And two, I was looking into hotels and things like that for Pigfest. I'm still looking into everything. And that's another thing I want to kind of take some time out for. There's a lot of really cool looking hotels, guys. Like I said, I used to be in hotels too, so I'm very familiar. I've stayed in a lot of different ones, and then also, have toured them. We used to get invited because I was a event coordinator, sales manager. So I was always invited for lunches and, come look at the new hotel in town, and I'd be able to go and look at all the rooms. And so I like hotels. I always kind of know what to look for and things like that. But I was into that, Diane, and I'll tell you what, I woke up, I got like 6 hours this time, and I was like, one eye open, like, do I really need to be getting up yet? But no, and I just enjoy being here with you guys. I enjoy speaking about this. I'm so glad that I was in Hindsight's chat last night with Mama Marissa and BMW Coop, and just, able to know about this new development, because again, I'm following a bunch of the different cases. Look, I know Evelyn Boswell is, her mother, excuse me, they already had the trial, but she's being sentenced today. And so a lot of people were covering that. Also, there's a college cheerleader. I thought this chick was in high school. No, she's a college cheerleader. She's out. I don't remember what the stipulations are, but she is out and awaiting trial for killing her baby son, her newborn baby son, right? Another one of these, look at me, oh my God, you know what I mean? It's like, and then they're taking their little babies and putting them in trash bags. It's like, what in the world is going on? I mean, I pay attention to a lot, because I try to stay up to date. We even have little Renesmee, that beautiful little girl, Yeah, Scranton. I'm looking to go. Hey, Linda Nunley, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the green hearts. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Uh, I'm just looking at kind of what dates and everything like that. Two, I might need a little bit of help with crowdfunding, guys, because I was not planning on this trip. And as you know, I just kind of bought my computer and, so I just have to work out some of the details. But where there's a will, there's a way. Hey, astrology for Mystics with Jen. Good to see you. Um, and anybody, who maybe lives close, if they wanted to carpool, or, I'm still thinking about that, or maybe, hello Rumi with a double queen, right? That we could do that too. Some of the rates are really reasonable, honestly. And, um, I plan on actually calling the hotel and making arrangements. I really recommend doing that for anyone who's going to travel. Booking online is very unpredictable, and there's a lot of terms in the fine print. And when you get to the hotel, sometimes it can be very, very stressful if all of the details aren't correct and things like that. So I highly recommend that. Also, I don't mind couch surfing while I'm there. No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, whatever needs to happen, we got to make it happen. Again, I'm more into focusing on the solution rather than problem. And even though there are some roadblocks, um, thank you, show poodles. I got it. Thank you. I'm going to pull it in. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you. Dog said he was last night, guys, a man of his word. That's all I'm going to say right there. Transcript released from Texas Roadhouse and Dog's conversation. He said he was going to release it. Right? So thank you, Dog. I mean, I am really in awe about a lot of what has gone on behind the scenes and how they've handled things. Another shout out to Nick the Hat. Thank you for everything that you do. Look, it's horrible that people that are willing to help are dragged so horribly. Guys, I have to just say this again, too. Justin on TikTok, who is now just in the nick of crime, I believe he is now, he put out um, a statement, right, with Joe Petito. Joe Petito was brave enough too to put a statement out and say, yes, I was threatened, and so was the Gabby Petito Foundation, if I was to come out and help Seth and go on his show and speak on his live. What in the world is happening? If that's not corruption, I don't know what is. I don't know what to tell you. I can't help you. Help me help you. Jerry Maguire, help me help you. It's crazy. It's crazy. And honestly, it has no business in a missing child's case. You're going to threaten the father? Because of what? Because I don't understand it. Tell me. Help me out. I'm all ears. I'm listening. I'm waiting. Email me. Nani McPoppin says, Ellie needs to find something considering their integrity and any dignity they might have had there. It's all in the sewage pond at this point. Old Snuggle Struggle is the toilet flusher at the department. I mean, and that's the problem, Nani McPoppins. I don't want people to feel a negative vibe from any type of law enforcement ever, because those are the people that we're supposed to turn to. Look, when if we think we see Sebastian, these are the people that we need to turn to. But how can we feel comfortable doing that when they want to hide things and lie? It's not okay. Because that makes the public say, well, should I call law enforcement or should I call someone else? And look, that's precious time, because what if that is Sebastian? And that goes for any other child. But look, you guys, I've said it before. my motherly instinct kicks into overdrive looking at Sebastian and looking at Katie and this picture over here with corrupt ass Craddock and her nasty old husband. Old pork chop mullet. It makes me angrier than you could ever believe. And it turns me into a mama bear. And I think, let's protect this child. That's the first thing that my instincts tell me. The first thing. And I've watched a lot of the moms, a lot of the grandmoms, a lot of even our friend Ann Reynolds talking about her niece, right? The aunt instinct kicks in, right? Because these kids deserve someone to stand up for them when we see a mother like Katie Proudfoot. I see comments like from our friend Mark Klein. He says, what mother does that? What mother does that? If anything, think back to your own mother. If anything, think back to the grandma maybe that raised you and think, I mean, because I think about that with my mom. I think, what if my mom was like this? What if she didn't care about me? What if she chose her husband over me? I've never had to experience having a stepfather or a stepmother. So I really don't know. But I'm here to tell you, I've witnessed a lot of crap out of these step parents who decide to get into a relationship with Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom. I know. I've been looking around the areas. Thank you. Yeah. That's why it's kind of a process, guys, right? Because I have to research and figure out, because I mean, I don't know the area at all. So, but yeah, I mean, when I look at a mother who has been given an ultimatum and she decides to take that ultimatum, ultimately she took the ultimatum, right? Because I would have left the ultimatum. I would have said, you're asking me to choose you over my child? You've got to be shitting me. There's no man on this planet, there's no amount of money that could ever make me go along with that. And I've watched people get involved with other people, like we see with the Chris Watts case, the family annihilator, Chris Watts. Nicole Kessinger had plenty of conversations that have been well documented that shows that she did not want Bella and Cece. And she certainly didn't want Nico because that was his first son and she wanted to be the one to give him his first son. How sick is that? What the hell is wrong with someone that does that? But there's people that do that. Even if you can't fathom it, even if you're such a good person that it's unbelievable to you. Believe it. It happens. I know, Scranton, I'm so leery of going through like Priceline, Expedia, any of them, or Booking, because there's so many problems, like when you get to the hotel, that I've experienced, that I've watched people experience when I was a desk agent. And so it was like, oh, I just get so nervous doing that. I always recommend calling the hotel directly because, you can call the hotel directly and ask for deals. Like you can say, I'm coming in for this reason, or I'm traveling for business. And, do you have a business rate? Like I always recommend doing that because you'll always get the best rate, guys, just so you know, the best rate doing that. A little bit of, travel if you're traveling and that way it's direct through the hotel and there's no stipulations placed by the online third party, right? Because those are third party reservations. If we look at them at the desk, we're like, oh, third party reservation. Everybody rolls their eyes. They're like, oh crap. And then, somebody comes in and one little thing doesn't match and you can't give them the room and it's a whole mess. But I know a lot of people use them and are successful with it. Hey, Narita, thank you for hitting the like button. Diane says the sentencing for Megan Boswell was epic. Gave some real renewed hope for sentencing in Tennessee. Really, Diane? That's fantastic. I just feel like I- and I hate to say this, and I'm not saying it's everyone, but it seems to me that, and it's in across the board in different cases, even the one in Ohio with little James Hutchinson, little 6-year-old James who's never been found. It's like the poorer you are or the younger you are, the police will just take advantage of that and they will bust you. I mean, they're going to bust your butt, right? They're going to bust your butt. And when we look at this with Katie and Chris Proudfoot, and they're, hoity-toity, oh, you can't, I'm untouchable, I'm, entitled, I'm well known, blah blah blah. It sucks that we don't see the same type of gusto, right, that we're seeing with Megan Boswell's trial. Because Megan Boswell is a young girl, right? Very impressionable. And we kind of see that. I mean, we see that in Katie. That's the immaturity that I see in Katie, and why I call her the weak link. Because I think if they got Katie by herself, she would squawk, right? Unless there's so much fear in her. But I will say that, little Chris Proudfoot, I could see him squawking too, because he's so entitled and used to mommy, changing his pamper when he dirties it. He's very used to mommy changing the pamper when he dirties it, right? So used to it that he dirties up his pamper all the time. Then he runs to mommy, I need a change. I need a change, mommy. And Katie doesn't have that, folks. Katie doesn't have a mommy to change her diaper for her. Until, Miss Beautiful Cruella DeVille steps into the picture. But make no mistake, Katie, she's not going to change your pamper if Chris needs changing. He's going to be changed first. Okay? You best believe it. GA64, the devil and his demons are running wild these days. The world needs Jesus. Amen, sister. And that's it. That is it. It's right there in the Bible if you read it. It's right there. And it's okay. If you don't believe it, it doesn't matter. It still is what it is. People can go on not believing it all day. They can say, oh, look at these creepy Christians. They're just all out there, Bible thumping away. Well, that's good. I'd rather do that than be on the side of evil. I'm sorry. I don't agree with evil. Maybe you do. Maybe you believe in that more than the power of Jesus and prayer and the Lord. That's fine. We can agree to disagree. You don't have to believe because he believes in you. God loves all of us, even the people that we don't like. God loves us and the people that we don't like because he made us all. We're all his children. We're all supposed to be brothers and sisters. And there's something very evil getting into people these days. You can see it all over the place. It used to be the mean man that crept in the night, right? And now it's people, it's who you know. It's the people you know. Tamron Hall has a show. I think it's on Court TV. Tamron Hall. I've known her from the news in Chicago. And then she's got her own talk show. But other than that, she has a show, and it's called The People You Know, or the Ones You Know, or something like that. And it's all true crime cases on people that have been wronged and taken advantage of by people they know. Mama Davis says, it's so unbelievable. This world has a lot of evil. We need to pray for protection over these little ones. Right. And evil takes a lot of forms, Mama Davis. That's the scary thing. That's the really scary thing. Oh, you're wondering if Green Hoodie's Texana, Jen. Oh my goodness. It was on Facebook about 45 minutes ago. Woo-hoo, breaking news. That lady is a real kook. That Texana, she's a kooky kook, right? She's a kook. And I wouldn't put it past her. They said that Green Hoodie was a regular, Jen, at the Texas Roadhouse. and that they found out who she is. I'm like, yeah, right. They keep changing their story too. I'm about to do a video of inconsistencies in law enforcement statements because there's plenty, you know? Threatened by who exactly? There's been threats, Scranton, from the beginning of this, right? Like we had talked about, because Hindsight and Mama Marissa played a clip, again, another example that I'd never heard of before, of Seth saying that his searchers were being uh, threatened. We've all gotten threatened. Even Dog the Bounty Hunter got threatened. Somebody trying to take out a hit. You know? We're hitting a nerve, GA64. Absolutely. The threats are because we're hitting a nerve. That's why they're so focused on that flashlight video. They know that that's the evidence. That's the proof right there. That's why they're trying to discredit it, because they don't want us to talk about it anymore. They don't want us to look at it anymore. Look, I think that the Texas Roadhouse is super sketchy. I think the green hoodie is super sketchy, and I also think Yellow Jacket guy is super sketchy. But that doesn't hit a nerve like the flashlight video, does it? I showed Sebastian on the Yellow Jacket's phone the best I could show you guys, the fullest enhancement that I can do, the most I could slow it down to show you this in order for it to be visible. I've sent it to law enforcement. None of that hit a nerve like this did. None of it hit a nerve. That's when I was threatened by SF Investigates. That's when I had two stalkers on my hands. That's when Terry Lynn decided that she was going to pull her shit and be a part of that too. All because of this photo. They didn't care what I did with the Texas Roadhouse. They didn't say a damn word. But they did when I did that. Hey, Nick. Good to see you, sweetie. Yeah. It hit a nerve when I did that. They're sadists, in my opinion. Thank you, Nani McPoppins. I try to bring you guys the facts. I do. In this case, it's extremely difficult because I have to rely on, thank you, Bobby, because I have to rely on their words. Hey, Tina girl, I don't know why KP and CP love to watch Seth suffer. They're very disgusting people, They're very disgusting people. Oh, Django thinks so too. All right, guys. So I'm going to get into this. Let me go to. I know I'm behind in the chat too. It's good to see you all. Oh, thank you, Women's Warrior, for becoming a new member. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Dragon Tribe. And I say welcome to the Dragon Tribe, guys. You guys are all Dragon Tribe. But I appreciate the memberships because it does help the channel out, and it's just something that really, really warms my heart when I see it. I really appreciate that. Show Poodle says KP is living the life Megan B thought she wanted to, in my opinion. Show Poodles, exactly. And oh, Daisy, did you not see a picture of Katie at the Mexican restaurant? She's wearing her Apple Watch, for one, is something that stood out to me. And she is with Faith, right? Romans 1:28, reprobate minds. We have got to do something. We have to do something. Hey, Wild Wolf, thank you for hitting the like button. That's awesome. And they are misleading us all to say nothing to see here when there's a missing child. Hello, y'all, listening from the sideline as I multitask. Thank you, Wild Wolf, for being here. I appreciate you. And Boswell got an additional 4 years Oh, for false reporting. Good. 6 years tampering with evidence. Boom. All right. 2 years abuse of a oh, poor baby Evelyn, abuse of a corpse. 25 years for abuse. That's what I like to see. The heaviest sentence imaginable if you are going to abuse a child. You should get a harsher sentence for that alone. It should be like, no, never again, right? 4 years for false reporting. That's great. And I forgot how many for the red rum. Okay, so she's okay. And I'm sure they'll run consecutively, but that's okay. Wow, Diane, thank you for that update. That's fantastic. Women's Warrior says, lady, usually those who don't believe in God pray when something bad happens. Like people who hate Ellie usually run to them in times of fear, etc. That's true, Women's Warrior. You're so right on that. And I was that type of a person too for a really long time. I realized that exactly what you said, that I have to be grateful to God and praise God and thank God. Not that my mother didn't already tell me that, right? It's always say thank you, give thanks. Learned it in church, learned it in school, but I realized that you have to say thank you for what you have, right? Already. And that is so right. And it's very easy, right, to go to God, or sometimes it's easy to get angry with God and say, how could you do this, right? Just like my little friend, that I used to babysit, and my good friends, and I don't want to say anybody's names, their granddaughter, right? Guys, she's a 2-year-old. She has leukemia. She just had a bone marrow transplant yesterday. No, the day before yesterday. Right? Aaliyah. Let me show you her. Now, I'm not going to put a picture of her with no hair. I'm not doing that. But this is her before her treatments. Okay? In the corner, that is that baby. That's our baby. And she just had a bone marrow transplant. And for the life of me, I can never reconcile in my brain how a baby can suffer with cancer the way that she is. Never can I ever reconcile that. But I could get angry and blame God and say, oh, well, how could you do that to her? But also, it's being grateful that she's still with us, right? That she's pulling through it. Yes, but who threatened them? Do we know who those threats are coming from? It's hard to tell, Scranton, because they keep saying that they're not getting any type of they're not getting any reports of any threats, right? Eric Craddock said that April 2nd, 2024, and denied what the United Cajun Navy said. So they're not taking the police report seriously. If there are police reports being done, they're not taking them seriously. And who I believe it is the Proud Feet. So I think it's the Proud Feet. Jen says Texana went from having long hair to short hair and all in the business of suing Seth, and Seth hasn't even spoken a word to her. Well, and that's the thing. She was being so rude at that vigil. She had no business being there if she was going to go there to cause trouble. No business whatsoever. So you go and you pay measly $25 to go over there and cause trouble and be, completely rude, in my opinion. Where's the food? What time are we eating? Where's my t-shirts? And the poor lady is back there. She's got all the t-shirts and she goes, oh, okay, honey, what size are you? I mean, come on. That Texana lady is off her rocker. Her cheese done slid off her cracker years ago, and now she's coming out of the woodwork, in my opinion. Hell yeah, 100% 3 a.m. video is proof, in my opinion. Stephanie Williams, I can't see how anybody doesn't believe that, especially when they're coming out showing us other pictures like this one. This is the crap that they put out, right? Here's the first bit. you know. And sorry guys, I'm so behind in chat, but I just like reading your messages. Hey, Freebird, good to see you. Just as there is a God that loves you, there is a devil that hates us, and he is wreaking havoc on people's lives. Boom, right there. Right there. Right? Because they're fighting for the side of evil, right? And we're fighting for the side of good. And they're fine with it. They think it's funny. I've watched them turn themselves into devils and say, "Oh, look, we're going to hell." You know, and they do. And the devil dances. He sure does. He loves it. He loves it. Don't forget who he is. He's a fallen angel. Hey, Kelly. You know. However, when law enforcement further investigated the video, this they disproved this theory, right? It doesn't say who in law enforcement. It just says law enforcement. But then if you look in the top left-hand corner, this is a photograph from 2/23/24. And by the way, Carter, Brandon Carter, I noticed this in 2 seconds. You lying sack. It took me all of 2 seconds to notice your bullshit and your fuckery. The minute that I looked up at that timestamp, 3/11/04, and right next to it, it said the wrong date, I had to keep looking at it over and over again. What? I did a double, a triple, a quadruple take on that shit. And then I looked at it and I said, oh, hell no. And then I made this post. The fuck? Why are you trying to push this shit off? 2/23/24. Where's the photo from that night? What? You upset because we have it? We have it right here. That it's been out. But you took the time to go back and do what? Fabricate a photo? Sickening. You're sick and you need help. And you need to do your job, not ask for a raise. So let's go ahead. I'm going to share this screen with you guys. And let's go over the true information. Oh, first I want to show you this clip. I'm sorry, guys. Let me just do this like this, and I apologize. We're going to get into the at night update. But just bear with me on this because I think that we need to hear this right here. I see it. Okay, so it'd be 13. All right, hold on a second. Alrighty, just bear with me here. Let me get this shirt up for us. And this is Polished Turds Part 2, right? Let's watch.
Okay.
All right.
Call 911 so we can find you, man. Come on, sons.
Well, 10 days have now passed. Still no sign of Sebastian Rogers. The teen's mother and stepfather say he just walked out of their Sumner County home and vanished.
Yesterday, we heard from them for the first time pleading for their boy to come home. Our Nick Barris also interviewed his biological father.
Somebody has you, son. Run. You know, run to the next person you meet. Ask to use their phone and call 911. Tell them who you are. Let them find you.
Authorities announced yesterday their search efforts have been scaled back. The parents have not been named as suspects, and we are told they are cooperating with this investigation. Originally, police told neighbors in the Shackle Island area to check any doorbell or home security footage from late last Sunday night to early Monday morning when Sebastian reportedly disappeared. Now they are asking neighbors to check footage from earlier on Sunday. Here's another look at the photos we have of Sebastian. If you see him, if you know anything about this, you are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
For the first time, we are getting a look at family.
Monday morning when Sebastian reportedly disappeared. Now they are asking neighbors to check footage from earlier on Sunday.
Okay, guys, I just wanted to pop on. So this is them saying they want neighbors to check footage from earlier on Sunday. And then I want you to also pay attention here. I just, wanted to replay it again. This is where we will see that there are 2 photos of Sebastian that appear to be younger photos, and the one in the middle is when it was his birthday party in December of 2023.
Here's another look at the photos we have of Sebastian. If you see him, if you know anything about this, you are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
For the first time, we are getting a look at family video of the missing 15-year-old. Sebastian's biological father gave it to Nick Barris during an exclusive on-camera interview.
Seth Rogers shares custody of his son, and the deputy with the Davidson County Sheriff's Department spent the past 2 weeks looking for Sebastian.
I'm hoping he's still alive. That's my main hope right now, is that he's not deceased. I mean, I keep praying that he's alive. I keep praying that somebody's going to see him, or somebody's going to call 911.
Seth's 15-year-old son disappeared barefoot and with a flashlight from his mother and stepfather's home in Hendersonville either late on Sunday, March 3rd or early that Monday. Seth knows the key to finding his son may come from a tip. Several photographs have already been made public, and now he's released 2 video clips of Sebastian. In this first one, you see Sebastian up front on the left in yellow shorts, participating in a tug-of-war with fellow students.
And if you watch, he got swung around at the end like a little rag doll, and it's like, well, he gave it his best.
This second video shows Sebastian walking at his middle school graduation.
I was very proud of him. I mean, he successfully completed something.
Seth says his son, who is autistic, is not a wanderer. He finds it highly unlikely Sebastian would leave in the middle of the night barefoot, based on an experience his son had as a child.
He decided that he wanted to step into a mound of what he thought was dirt, and it was fire ants. And since then, it's always been, he doesn't like to get his feet in the dirt. He likes to have his socks and shoes on.
Seth won't rule out the possibility of foul play, that someone is involved in his son's disappearance. And if Sebastian is able, he says he needs to call for help.
He needs to call 911. And if somebody has him, you need to give him back. He's my son, and he doesn't belong to nobody, but damn it, he's mine. And he's mine.
Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
They did see Seth was out there a couple of times with everybody. He was at the command post. I have a good friend that was there in the command post, and she confirmed that he was at the command post. But I asked her, I said, did you see Katie or Chris or the Bowers Hawks? And she said, no, never saw any of them.
Case, it turns out that I have a friend of my sister's who reached out to me. She sent me a text and said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that Sebastian's mother is my cousin. And I would really appreciate it if you could please talk about Sebastian's case and get his information out there. Team, all of the members, I did speak to the parents also, because I would like to maybe get some people together that might be interested in getting up a billboard for Sebastian in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I think anything at this point would possibly help to locate Sebastian and get his face out there. And the mom said that that would be wonderful, whatever it takes to bring her Bubba home. And that's what we want to do, is we want to bring this child home safe. Trev here. Hey, Trev.
Good evening, Duchess. Thanks for having me up. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm sorry that I missed your stream earlier, but I was actually talking to the family, and I told them all about your channel and the wonderful work that you're doing for the missing, and that I wanted to connect them to you because I felt like that you might be able to give them some local resources and help.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I'm in these. I mean, you know me well enough to know that in these kind of cases, whatever I can do, small, big, whatever it is, it's all about us all playing our part. And so I'm happy to help however I can.
So it looks like that we have them coming up on panel. So if you guys will please welcome Sebastian's parents to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you joining us.
You're welcome.
We had a really good conversation today, and I appreciate you being willing to talk to me about Sebastian going missing.
We're on a constant roller coaster ride of helpless and hopeless and many other emotions all in one, and it's a never-ending roller coaster. It doesn't stop. It won't stop until he walks through the door.
I wouldn't wish this on anyone. Not anyone.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna
Always.
come home.
He's gonna walk through that door. And this street will be flooded again with family and relatives all waiting to hug and love him. And
That boy's gonna have more friends than he knows what to do with when he comes home.
Katie Proudfoot, Katie Proudfoot, Proudfoot.
Chris, Chris, last name's Proudfoot, Proudfoot.
Horrible beyond words. This was an experience that I would have never dreamed would come. Honestly, I can't put words to how hard this has been and how much it hurts not knowing where my son is, where he's at, if he's okay. Just horrible is the best thing I can say.
It's rough. I mean, we were on day 11, no answers. And the horrible things that people say just keep rolling in, regardless of taking time to consider the facts and, assumptions is what they're going off of. But, for us, we sit here and we wait, and hopefully we'll get an answer, or hopefully he walks through our door, which would be amazing.
I'd give anything. In a heartbeat, I would give anything.
It's not measurable. Let's put it that way. There's no measurable. Anybody says all it is. You've never sat in these shoes. You've never been in this situation. And I don't ever wish for people to be in this situation.
It's kind of funny because he also doesn't have awareness, because if you look, he's got chocolate lip on his face because he didn't like dog at breakfast. It's funny like that.
Anybody to grab this link. He's probably waiting. Chris, I apologize. I'll put the link in here, and nobody's going to get on stage except for Chris Proudfoot. Everybody in chat, I'm going to ask you to be polite. Just let me get through this, please. And I appreciate you all being here. Chris told me he wanted to come on here. Okay. All right. Can you just show me your face? You can cover it back up. I mean, I know it's really you, but because you called, but can you just show me your face and then you put your screen back down? Okay. Are you there now? Can you show me your face? Oh, there you are. Thank you. Okay. I see Katie. Hold on. Hi.
Hello.
Okay. I'm kind of surprised, but thank you and welcome for coming up here. I appreciate that. How are you feeling today?
Pretty terrible, to be honest with you. 24 days in, and there's a bunch of horrible things being said and a bunch of misinformation being spread, and my son is still missing. And so it's horrible. There's not a better word for it, to be honest with you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm glad you come up here, and I will. I asked my chat to please be respectful, and I will let you say what you feel. And again, I wasn't expecting this, but you're more than welcome to say what you feel. And if it's okay, I would like to ask some questions, but I would like to talk about Sebastian, and maybe we could just start there. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I think Chris is still trying to join as well. A lot of people are accusatory when we speak. It's a lie. Oh, it's not us. And
yeah, well,
the truth is no matter what any of y'all think, I didn't do anything to my son. My husband didn't do anything to my son. We love him dearly, and we are doing everything that we can to try and find him and bring him home. And his father loves him dearly as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I there's a lot of questions that people have and a lot of what ifs, and I know sometimes it's tough. I mean, I've seen a lot of cases like this, and I know, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. Let me say that. I would not want to be in your shoes.
I wouldn't want anybody to have to be in my shoes, to be honest with you. It's nothing any parent should ever have to go through.
Right, right. You know, I've seen in my own family, you know, I've actually had a runaway and I ended up murder, and I know it's not the same. It's not my child. Although I have lost a child, and this is not about me, it's about Sebastian. But I will tell you, nobody should have to sit in your shoes. There's not words that I can say. But also I do have an autistic son, and I know many do. I'm gonna drop her link again. I'm dropping it again. I think she's having a bad signal. I don't know where she's at. She may be where she can't get the signal good. Here she is back. Okay, Katie. Okay, there you go. Sorry about that. And you may have a bad signal somewhere. I don't know if you're having like rain or anything, but it keeps going in and out, but that's okay. But anyway, you know, the main thing is people just have a lot of questions and just trying to make sense of everything. And you're here. Okay, Chris, I'm dropping the link again. I told nobody not to get it, but you. Here you go, sir. Oh, drop again. Sorry. There you go. If you'll just click on that. But I do, you know, still with anything that we personally go through, there's nothing, it's not the same. And I understand that. And so I am very sorry. I'm very sorry for you all three of you. I can feel when his dad talks, Seth, I can feel that pain. And, you know, it's just different. I'm not trying again to accuse, like I said, anybody. I'm just trying to make sense of everything. And that's all I can say. I can't be fake. I have to be honest, you know.
Well, it's your opinion and you're entitled to it, obviously, but I can tell you that the pain that his father and I, and even my husband, are feeling right now is immeasurable, to be honest with you. And I have never in my life would I have ever dreamed that this would be a reality.
Yes, ma'am. I don't think anybody ever thinks this will happen to them. Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Yeah, you surprised me calling me. You surprised me calling me, but I'm glad I could bring you on and you know, hopefully, you know, talk about this. A lot of people's just interested. I know it's irritating, and I know it's irritating, me included. I know I am too, but we're just all, we all have opinions, and there's no stone we can leave unturned. We have to think outside the box. And I know it's irritating to y'all. I know it's irritating to everybody, but we all want Sebastian found. Go ahead and I'll let you start or whatever you want to do.
So there's time too. Do me a favor. I got to drop out of this. I got to make a phone call real quick, and I will be back. This is my call. I don't care. I don't miss this phone call because it's my daughter.
No, you go ahead.
Come back and hang tight. Give me about 5-10 minutes. I'll be right back.
You're fine. You're fine. We'll be here.
Is that
yeah.
good?
You're okay. Hold on.
Hello?
That's me. I'm gonna knock you off for a minute. You just come back when you're ready. Okay. So I think he's on mute. Okay. So Katie.
That'll clarify that side of the question everybody's been asking. No, he does not have a restraining order from his daughter. He speaks to her, just to go ahead and clear that one out, because I know there's been a lot of talk about that as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, he still speaks to her on the phone, as y'all see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That little girl is precious and loved, just like Sebastian. He wants to see if you can drop the link again. I think.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, guys, I just want to pop in. So, Tina Girl, that was Terry Lynn calling Chris Proudfoot, right? That's Terry Lynn calling Chris Proudfoot during the interview, and Chris Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot lied and said that that was his daughter. So tell me again how Terry Lynn wasn't playing both sides from the very beginning. This is an old video, guys, so you're going to see me praising her, but yeah, corn dog alert. Corn dog alert. Trigger warning, Sam Rowell, good to see you. That call was Terry Lynn allegedly. Yes, ma'am, it was. I knew back then that it wasn't his daughter, for sure. The first time I watched the interview, I said, he's lying. That's not his daughter. That's someone else calling. Little did I know it was actually Terry Lynn. the one that was, searching for Sebastian. Also want to, share this as well, right? Her buddy, her pal, right? Right? Finally found the photo of the alleged bare footprint from the retention pond, but look at the name in the corner. Not sure what to make of all this. Oh, I'm positive what to make of all of it. Charlie Briley is the name that she's referring to. Hey, Twitch. And that's the person who was searching with Terry Lynn in the beginning, right? Charlie Briley. Charlie Briley was the man who put the mattress pad in the truck bed, the truck above. He told someone that he got rid of it. He never responded to my text messages. If he can be located, his truck bed may still have some DNA from the mattress pad. And this is the mattress pad. May 13th, 2024, 3:05 p.m. This was found at 2040 New Hope Road, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075 in the United States. I found this in the brush between Worsham's and Beach Storage Unit. See above date, time, and location. Look familiar? Look familiar? 9 o'clock bedtime? Poof. I don't think so. I don't think so. Try again. Crazy. Crazy. Lisa King says, in my opinion, they all delight in watching Seth search and suffer not knowing where Sebastian is or what happened to him. I bet they are all sitting back laughing because they know exactly where he is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And SF investigates trying to say, oh, they never debunked my video. Yeah, they did recently. You want them to reiterate it to you again so you can get some clout? Piss off. Oh, thank you for being here, Twitch. I appreciate you. All right, here we go, guys.
So, where do you want to start at, Chris? I was like just asking little simple questions, or whatever about your work and stuff. Like, did you talk to Sebastian and stuff like that? But basically, I know it's a 3.5 hour drive. You was at work. Is there a reason that? Okay, so are you working now, or are you just taking off, or anything like that, like for a certain amount of time?
So is this to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you asking me that, or is one of your
No, I'm asking you that. I just wondered.
Sam Rowell, Charlie Briley, he is not missing. Charlie Briley is not missing. He is right on Facebook. Right there on Facebook. He's not missing. He might be avoiding the locals. He might be avoiding people, but he's not missing. They know exactly where Charlie is. He didn't disappear. He took a lot of people's money, and so he's probably avoiding them again, but he didn't disappear. He took money from CJ. He's taken money from everybody. He took money from Tara at Another Realm. Sam Rowell says they are all sitting pretty while everyone is looking for a live child, in my opinion. It's terrible. Hey, Kiki girl, I stopped into your live earlier, but I didn't say hi because I had another one, or I had one scheduled, but I did go in there. So good to see you. Thank you for being here. Drive safe. CP and KP failed Sebastian, in my opinion. Absolutely. And so the police. Yes, they know where Sebastian is for sure, in my opinion. I believe they know. I believe they know. Oh, disappeared off the case, not missing. Okay, Sam, thank you. Yeah, because people were saying that. They're like, we can't find him. We don't know where he is. It's like he's living in the same spot. He's right there. Nick the Hat, if the Bowersox Fort Knox of lawyers, politicians, LE, their comings and goings, financial transactions, all electronic communications, etc., can be penetrated and the culprits will be found. I agree, Mama Bear. All of it is evidence. All of it is worth looking into and then digging into, you know? Thank you, Mama Bear, for being here.
Like if you, I was just wondering, like if you, like, are you, in fact, let me just, I'll turn my chat off for just a minute so I don't get
No,
preoccupied.
don't turn your chat off. Leave it on. It's fine.
Okay.
I mean, that way you can get all these questions coming in because, like I said, I told you, I gave you my word. I come on your show. I would answer questions. People ask the questions, but keep in mind, like I told y'all from the very beginning, I'm brash, I'm direct, but I'm respectful, and I ask for the same in everybody else.
Yeah, and I told them a while ago, just please be respectful because I wasn't expecting this. Like, please be respectful, y'all, because
So one thing right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, really irks me with some of these folks that want to follow these YouTube, and I'm very honest about this. Somebody says I won't talk to men. Not that I don't want to talk. Right. It's not that I don't want to talk to men. I have talked to more law enforcement men agencies in the past 24 days than I've probably ever talked to in my entire life. Same thing goes for women. So no, I don't have a problem talking to a man or talking to a woman. I appreciate everybody's assumptions or concerns, innuendos, whatever they want to be. But at the same time, I vet who I talk to. I'm not just going to open up and talk to anybody. And I will put this out there. JLR, everybody wants me to talk to this guy. Explain to me, Smiley, you probably have a better understanding of this. Explain to me why I should talk to JLR.
oh, I mean, he's grown a lot. I just think a lot of people don't give him a chance. That's just my honest opinion.
Right. Do you know why people don't want to give this man a chance?
Well, go ahead and tell me. I mean, I want your opinion.
So I'm going to tell you my personal opinion.
Okay.
Okay. This is my personal opinion. This is nobody else's, not my wife's, not anybody else's, my personal opinion.
Okay.
So I did my due diligence and I read up on Jonathan Lee Rich. Excuse me. I've read up on him. Not necessarily the best character in the world. When you start reading and the first thing comes up, everything that you can find on this individual. Now, I don't know him, Adam from Eve. I really don't. He don't know me, Adam from Eve. But when he opens his mouth and goes out there and starts spreading lies, and yes, lies, because unless you got
And guys, we all know that Terry Bowersox harassed JLR. We watched it happen. I replayed it on my channel, right? Anybody that tries to help, anybody that tries to dig into the case, anyone who tries to talk about Sebastian, find more out, they get threatened. Another example of threats.
got hardcore evidence that I'm an abusive husband, abusive father, I've got a restraining order against me, unless you got proof, don't open your mouth, because it's real simple. I don't have any of that. Good luck finding it. I've never lied to y'all. I've been open and honest. People don't like my answers, so people want to come back with their own assumptions. And I'm so sorry that I can't open up and give you every little piece of evidence and every little detail that we know. I am terribly sorry. It sucks, because when it does and it can come out, my only question to everybody else is, when are you going to start issuing public apologies? That's not to you. That is to everybody that wants to come out and badmouth people that don't understand and don't have a clue what's going on. And I think that's pretty fair.
Do you all have camera footage in your home? I've heard people saying that too.
That is some information that we cannot divulge at this time due to the ongoing investigation.
Okay. Thank you.
Wish we could, but unfortunately we can't.
As well, but it hasn't moved. We can't give out that information because we don't have permission from her work.
I don't understand that. What?
About the make and model of the vehicle.
I have a work van that was also parked in the driveway.
Why is that? If it's out in the driveway where people can see it, why is that privileged information?
We just don't have permission from her company to divulge that information.
Have you asked?
No, ma'am, we have not. Nobody has asked us.
Chris Black says, what about the initial press release where it was said that Sebastian liked to stay up late?
I don't remember hearing that, but
I don't either, but I just wanted to put that out there because I thought maybe I missed something.
We're told he does have autism, is drawn to small spaces, and is active at night.
Well, I mean, if he, like I said, we said earlier, he's a typical teenager, so he will get up in the middle of the night. It's hard to say. I personally don't remember that being said in the interview, and I'm sorry. And I'm not doubting it, but I mean, he's a typical teenager. He'd get up, go get snacks, and go back to his room. So
He did regularly get up at night.
Mom's saying he regularly got up at night.
Tell me what happened the day that Sebastian went missing. I know that his mom said that he was having a good day. He had had a great weekend. So do you want to walk us through what that looks like again for everybody?
He did have a really good weekend, actually. When we come home from having supper that evening, he was playing. When he went to bed, when I told him to go to bed, he said, "I love you, Mama," and he said, "I love you, puppies." A little later in the evening, I myself went to bed, and when I went to wake him up for school, he wasn't here.
You told me that night that, now, Chris, you were at work. You were out of town at
Yes,
work, so
ma'am.
you were not even home.
Correct, ma'am.
And Mom, you fell asleep on the couch about 10 o'clock, but you said that Sebastian went to bed at 9 p.m. And then you got up off the couch and you went to bed, and you said that was around midnight.
Midnight.
And nothing was unusual at that point. Everything seemed okay.
There's actually a piece of, so to make something very crystal clear, so that way there's transparency across the board. Me and the mom were on the phone at 9:43 or 9:46 in the evening. We stayed on the phone for quite some time. The call logs have been verified by all the police departments, TBI included. We stayed on the phone. It was very lengthy. Mom did slightly start falling asleep while she was on the couch. I had said, "Hey, you need to wake up, put the dogs up, go to bed." Now, mind you, that was right around midnight, just before midnight or right around midnight. So then Mom does go to bed and wakes up early in the morning to go wake her son up, get him ready for school. And now we have a worried mom who can't find her son in the house. Mom made an effort to look and search several times. Mom has called me at the time and asked me, she was like, "I can't find him." I was like, "Do what?" And she goes, "Yeah, I cannot find him." I said, "Well, hang on." I made the phone call and reported it to the sheriff's department because that's what we're supposed to do. And within 10 minutes, the sheriffs were dispatched to the location.
So kind of just walk us through that night.
We were out and about that day. We were having a really good weekend. We got home. Everything was pretty normal. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you." Said good night to his puppies. A little bit later, I wound up going to bed, and when I woke him up for school, he wasn't there.
That's usually around what time? When do you normally wake up? Around 6 o'clock?
6. I took a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes. About 3 minutes in, give or take, I was on the phone with my husband. I said, "I can't find him." He said, "What do you mean you can't find him?" I said, "He's not in the house."
While we were on the phone, and I was like, "Is he on the other side of the bed?" The normal places he may be in the house, and he wasn't So I was like, okay, well, hold on a minute. And immediately after that, we called the sheriff's department and made the report.
I ran
And
all over the house, outside, inside. I looked
And-
in every closet.
within minutes, they were here. They responded within minutes, and here we go.
So you said you were on the phone with her, so
Yes,
you were not home.
No, ma'am. I was at work. I'm a tower crane operator, and I was working in Memphis at the St. Jude Project. So it's, you know, I have an earpiece in that talks to my phone. I have another earpiece in that does the radios. So when she was talking to me, it was like, what? I was confused. We talked about where he could possibly be, and then we went from there and led to calling the cops, and here we are now.
It was rapid fire. They had cars.
They
They had
lied
cars from here down to the
main
road, as far as I could tell. Sunday, we were out and about. We had a really good day. We were out doing our thing, running around. You know, we had dinner that evening, and when we came home, we had a pretty good evening together as well. He was playing right up until bedtime, and then some I let him stay up a little late. And when I told him to go to bed, you know, he's like, "I love you, Mom. I love you, puppies." And he went to bed. And I went to bed around midnight. Everything seemed fine. And when I went to wake him up for school, that's when I couldn't find him. He wasn't in his room, and he wasn't in the house. And that's when I panicked. First thing I did was call my husband, and I said, "He's not here." My husband said, "What do you mean he's not here?" I said, "He's not in the house." And he said, you know, immediately just started, you know, "Did you check here? Did you check there? Did you look here?" And I ran through the house. And at that point, I was hysterical, for lack of a word. And we three-wayed the police. And I'm within minutes they were here. I couldn't tell you exactly how long. I know it was fast. And we haven't found him.
When I got the phone call that he was missing, like she said, we asked questions of where's he at, check this, check that. And then we called the sheriff's department. After we called the sheriff's department, I stayed on the phone pretty much most of the time. And then while I was at work, I asked for a relief, got a relief, got in my truck from Memphis and made my way to Nashville. The morning that he was missing, yes.
Okay.
Initially, I was like, oh, he's goofing around again. Here we go. He's like hiding. And then when we talked about the places to check and he's not there, I was like, okay, stop. Instantly. Call the police. Instantly. I'm a black and white kind of guy.
Sunday, the day before he went missing, we got up and, fun fact, I made breakfast that morning. We had a good time. We were laughing, we were joking. He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag. We went and picked up our niece. Yeah, I got a call and asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that. We went to BJ's. Had a good time there. He ate a colossal popcorn. Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, you know, he's 15 and snacks. We went to the bowling alley. And then from there, we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway. About 9 o'clock, told him to go to bed. And he's come out of his room where he was playing. And he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. I love you." And went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep." And about midnight I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he went in here. To censor myself, holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid? Choice words were used. Like, you know, where the F is he, you know.
I had looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that. And he likes to dip behind the, walls and watch, and then he comes out after I come back and he likes to scare me. But after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat. But I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband, and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school, and he's already at this point I was like hysterical and I was crying, I was screaming, and he three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them our son is missing and we don't know what's going on, and he was like, go back to the house, they're on their way. And I drove back to the house, and 20 days later we haven't found him.
Yeah. Sunday morning, I'll just start with the morning. Sunday morning, we got up and I made a fun breakfast for us, spaghetti pancakes. Google it, y'all. We FaceTime family while we were eating so he could brag, because that's something he likes to do. And we were laughing and joking on FaceTime and having a good time with that. After breakfast, we got a call to go pick up our niece and go take her to meet up. So we did that. We went and picked her up, and we met her mom at BJ's, and we were there with family members. We come home and put our groceries away, and then a little bit later we went to the bowling alley, a local bowling alley here, and we played games. And then this is just Bubba and I, and we went to dinner, just the two of us, and then home. He took the trash out because that's his chore, and he come in and he was playing in his room until bedtime. And at bedtime, I told him, I said, hey, Bubba, it's time to go to bed. And he goes, okay, good night, Mama, I love you. And then he said goodnight to his puppies, and he went to bed.
Okay. And walk me through what happened. You said that you were on a phone call, you were on the couch, and then you went to bed at midnight. Walk me through exactly what transpired during that time before you went to bed at midnight for you.
So, well, my husband, he works out of town a lot. So we normally sit and talk every evening, and I normally fall asleep on him. And he'll tell me, wake up, you got to go to bed. And and that was right around midnight. So I got up and I put the puppies up and I went to bed myself at midnight. And I went to sleep, obviously. And then at 6 a.m., I went to wake him up for school, and that's when I couldn't find him. And sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Take your time.
And no, I was not home when all of this took place. I actually got back to Nashville. And I believe it was later in the afternoon. But I was on the phone with the police for the majority of that day until I physically got here.
Seth said that when he came, that everything was in pristine condition except for his room. Like, I know that the LE was there, and he said that the LE was there. Well, I mean, what did he mean by that? Was that just like the bed was unmade, or where you looked under things, or was it like what did he mean by that?
Sebastian's room is always a little bit messy, but even more so with all the people coming in, all the law enforcement coming in and looking through things, me looking through things, like everybody was searching everything.
So I have a question then real quick. So
Yeah.
you're asking that question, is that because there's somebody's trying to insinuate that we tried to cover something up because the house was clean? Or
No.
I
It's
mean,
just
and please understand why I'm asking that question, because whether my house is dirty or clean really doesn't matter. But okay, I'm just trying to understand this.
okay. Well, I'll explain it to you. It's
Okay.
because I have a son that is autistic. He's 28 now. I know it's all different types of children on the autism spectrum, but they like stuff in order. It's not like you have to get paranoid that I ask you that. It's just I was asking that because I was thinking back on things, not only personally, but because I was just trying to make sense. When I ask
So
questions, I just listen. Let me just tell you this: when I ask questions, you don't have to necessarily look. I'm not the police, okay? And you don't have to worry about how I ask questions. There's
right.
that.
So me asking that question back is
Mhm.
because you've got a lot of viewers. I'm not saying your viewers. So let's make that super clear so that viewers don't get that construed on anything. But there's so many people out there with their insinuations, and because you asked that question, it would not surprise me to see a comment. Well, that's because they cleaned the house before the cops got there. Trust me, we have seen it all, heard it all. People are putting stuff out there that is completely obtuse from the truth, and it is ridiculous. That's why I asked that question.
Well, I'll tell you
That he's
this.
with someone. Okay.
We didn't find any signs of the windows, but and without disclosing the details of my door locks, I will
I
say that
understand.
Sebastian regularly and consistently went out and locked the door behind himself.
Okay.
Yeah, not a padlock.
Is
He
that-
locks he locks the door behind himself every time he goes out it. The only people that would have access to my house have all been interviewed.
And not only that, but if somebody had been in by the front door, punched in the code, believe it or not, no, it's not super clear, but you would have seen a shadow or a figure based on, something would have been visible because one of the lights is still visible from that Ring camera from across the street.
Okay. There was no windows unlocked or anything like that.
Yeah, with
Yes,
the
yes.
screens intact and things like that. Hmm.
Yeah, nothing exterior of the building of our house has been altered.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why it was like, oh, not only that, but for him to go out the window, so to speak, he would have
Well-
landed in the flower bed and, barefooted. Yeah, we'd have heard something because he had landed on it and screamed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss Proudfoot, that evening, were you drinking?
No, ma'am.
Had you used any type of drug at all, even OTC, over the counter?
No, ma'am.
And you had no argument with Sebastian that night?
No, ma'am.
You stated you put the dogs away into a crate before you went to bed. Is the crate located near the exit, near a door?
No, ma'am.
Would the dogs have barked if there had been an intruder or if Sebastian had left?
The dogs don't typically bark at me and Sebastian because they're used to us. Even if we get up, we come around, they don't typically bark. Strangers, they do tend to bark, at least for a minute or two to get attention. But no, ma'am, they don't typically bark at Sebastian and myself or Christopher. when
What
he's
kind
on.
of dogs are they?
Morkies.
Question. Where is their crate located?
In the area near my sunroom.
Over by the
In
kitchen.
Your son's. Okay, hold on. Is
No,
it
son,
outside
not
your
son.
son's room?
No, ma'am. Not
Sunroom.
Sebastian's room. Son. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
The sunroom. And that's not near the door?
No, ma'am.
Not near the front door.
It's near my back door, but not any of the other doors.
Yes, from what I've seen the layout of the home, it is near the back door, and they would have heard someone coming in and out that back door, correct?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No barking. Do you have a chime or anything on your doors that would alert you to the door opening?
No, ma'am.
Other than you, Miss Proudfoot, who is the last person that saw or heard Sebastian alive the Sunday before he went missing?
2 of his aunts, a cousin, and the staff where we had dinner. So BJ's, and then we went to the bowling alley, and then after the bowling alley, we went to dinner before coming home.
So your Infinity SUV was parked in the garage or outside the garage that night, Miss Proudfoot?
In the garage.
In the garage. And Mr. Proudfoot, your vehicle was on location in Memphis. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So there's only one car at the home. Is that right?
There was actually a work vehicle in the driveway at the time.
You have a work van.
I am an installation technician.
That night, was the work van blocking your driveway? Could someone go in and out of your driveway?
The van is parked at the back of my driveway, so someone can pull in, yes.
Got it. Do you park your Infinity SUV in the garage or outside the garage?
In the garage.
In the garage. Do you have an automatic garage door?
With the clicker.
Right. Do you leave that up or down at night?
Down.
Could anybody lift it up? Like, is there an on and off button outside, or do you have to know a code or have the clicker to open it?
You'd have to know the code or have the clicker.
Does Sebastian know the code?
Not to the garage door, but to the man doors.
Not to the garage door, but to the house doors?
The regular door, yes.
So is there a code to get in your home, or do you use a regular key?
There's a code.
And he knows that code?
Yes, ma'am.
So your car's in the same place. You get in the car, you start looking in the neighborhood for him. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you call Mr. Proudfoot, right?
I believe I was already on the phone with him at that point.
Okay. That morning, you woke up at 6 o'clock. Is that the normal time you wake up?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a heavy sleeper?
Off and on.
Do you take any medication at night that would make you sleep?
No, ma'am.
But you heard nothing.
I did not, no.
So we know he is alive and well at 10 p.m. At 6 a.m. He's gone. You say he's never left before. Is that right?
Correct. He's never run off before.
And could I confirm, where was his bio dad at the time he went missing?
I believe he was at work in Nashville.
Had there been any family argument or altercation prior to him going missing?
No, ma'am.
I work for Davidson County Sheriff's Office,
And what is your job or your job title?
deputy sheriff, and I work in the corrections department.
And where were you the night that Sebastian disappeared?
At work.
And you said you were at a,
correction center.
and so you were at a jail.
I was in jail.
So you were in jail. And I'm sure there's probably, with it being a jail, it's a very secured area.
Oh yes, I am on camera arriving at 6 p.m. into the garage, which is a secure garage. You have to have badge access to get in or out. And then I'm leaving at like 7:30 the next morning, exiting out of the garage.
Any video footage of Katie searching for Sebastian that morning? Like, do they have any, since you have a neighbor that has a Ring camera, did any cameras pick up Katie actually out there searching that morning before?
If she, oh, you mean before all the police got there?
Yeah.
So the neighbor that was leaving to go take her well, actually the neighbor's camera did pick up her walking around her house.
Really? So she walked around her house?
Yeah, because in the neighbor, if you're looking to her house, the neighbor to the left of them, that the wife came out and was actually looking, there's like a little, like a wood door underneath the house. What do you call that underneath the house? The crawl space. They actually opened up that door and were looking in the crawl space together. And so they were looking. But as far as outside of the neighborhood, I've never seen them, and they've never not that I'm aware of. I mean, I asked my kids, and my kids said they had never seen her, never seen him.
Gotcha. Any idea when Seth got there?
No, but I do know that he was there by the time my kids went over there. Like I said, which was about 8:30. He was already there.
And
I had a missed call and a text message from Christopher Proudfoot telling me to 911. So I called him.
And what was that conversation like?
Don't be angry or mad. Sebastian's missing. What are you fucking talking about? My son is missing.
Did you find the statement, don't be angry or mad, odd?
Yes and no. I mean, my son's missing. You know, distraught would have been a better word. Confused on why he's gone. Mad and angry now. With what I know, yeah. Mad and angry fits now. But then again, what I know now is everything that Chris knew before.
Did you get immediately concerned when you got that call that there was something seriously wrong? Did you just know immediately?
I left there and I was doing well above the speed limit trying to get to Katie's house to find out what's going on.
Looking back on that call you had with Chris, does anything now seem out of the ordinary or odd?
The lack of emotion, maybe?
Interesting. When you got there, what did Katie personally tell you happened? Did you guys talk when you got to the house?
When I got there, I assessed the situation before I walked in. There was law enforcement was everywhere, in and out the doors, so on and so forth. By the time I got there, the dog people were there and the drone people were there. I was the last one to this stupid fucked up party.
What was Kathy's demeanor like?
Okay, guys, so I just want to pop on here really quick. I want to show you guys the America's Most Wanted portion of this subject matter that Seth is discussing right now. Okay, so he's talking about the phone call that he received from Chris, what happened when he found out, where he was at, all of that. So I want to pull this in really quick. Twitch, I'm just hang with me a little bit because I know that you asked a really great question. Let me take a look up here about the dash cam, right? We're going to go over that because we have some an answer. I'm not even going to say that we have the truth or that now we have some clarity because we don't, but we're going to go over more about the dash cam here coming up when we go over the statement from the FBI, right? We have a little bit more to get to. I'm just trying to paint this picture for you all. So I hope I'm doing a good job of that, but we're going to get to that too. Thank you so much for, wondering about that. And Tanya, I do think that he's going to come home. I think that we're going to find him. I do. And even if we don't find him how we want to. Let me take this and let's watch. And I just have to do a switcheroo on the screens. Give me 1 second, please. Bear with me. I'm so glad you guys are all here today. Thank you so much for caring about Sebastian. We need the truth out here. The truth is not being told. And let me start with this dispatch. We're going to go all the way to the beginning, right? With Harris Faulkner. There we go. Nope, not the turds. Sorry. There we go. All right, here we are, guys. America's Most Wanted, Harris Faulkner.
February 25th, 2024, Sebastian's mother said goodnight to her 15-year-old son. The next morning, Sebastian was gone.
I mean, if you do right now, really long hair, my guys, but I'm gonna try down. I was going to be wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants. You know, no doubt about
Sebastian is tall and skinny, has a contagious smile, loves video games, loves cats.
Boundless amounts of energy. Sebastian reminds me of a deer prancing through the woods, you know, enjoying the smell, the breeze, new things. That's my son.
February 25th, the day before Sebastian went missing, Chris was in Memphis at work. So Sebastian and I went to Texas Roadhouse. After dinner, right around 9 o'clock, he laid down. I heard a noise in his room. I said, I don't care what you're doing, but you gotta knock it off and you gotta go to bed. And he answered, you know, yes ma'am. I said, okay. And that was the last time that I spoke with Sebastian. The next morning, when I went in his room, he wasn't in his bed. After a minute or two, when I couldn't find him, I called Chris and I said I can't find Sebastian. He's not in the house.
I got off work and I had a text message from Sebastian's stepfather.
I said, hey, I don't know how to tell you this, but Sebastian is missing.
I headed straight over to their house.
I started driving through the neighborhood. I was panicking. I was looking everywhere. Like, where is he? What happened? Did he go with someone? Did someone take him? By the time I pulled into the school, Christopher was already telling me to turn around because the authorities were on their way.
They used helicopters, they used drones, they used ATVs, horseback.
An extensive search didn't yield one significant lead or even a.
Okay, guys, so we just heard Katie say that, you know, that Chris told her to turn around. We've heard her say that too, but, you know, we also heard her say that they were on a three-way call, right? They three-way called the sheriff's department instead of calling 911. We were on a three-way, and she taps it out onto the table. Hello? All right, so now we'll go back to Seth.
that morning. Did anybody in the house, when you saw them, appear nervous or out of place or odd, or just maybe they weren't doing anything, but there was just something in you that made you feel out of place or made you feel odd?
Katie seemed to be the only one that was upset, grieving, and maybe would be the word.
What was she doing? How was she acting? What emotions was she displaying?
Just sitting on the couch crying.
Have you seen
After
her?
the initial me coming in and her shoving her phone in my face and all that sort of stuff, then, you know.
Do you feel her behavior was genuine?
I'm not going to answer that.
Okay, fair enough. Did the neighbors speak to you?
Briefly, one of the neighbors spoke to me, lovely lady that lives next door. She introduced herself. I'm horrible with names, but most of the time, the people that came over, I was just sitting in a chair. People kind of looked at me, and then they would have their conversations with Chris and Katie and Kathy and whoever else was there. There was some introductions, but I'm not one of those people you just introduce. I was watching their behavior.
Did the neighbors say anything odd? Was their behavior odd, or were they just appeared to be concerned?
Some of them appeared to be concerned. Some of them brought their video footage over for Chris to look at. So Chris got to see all the video footage. I didn't get to see shit.
That's quite
Still in the dark.
That's quite interesting.
That's why when I told Chris I needed to speak to Katie, well, you can't do that unless I'm there.
You got a voice. Can I ask you why Chris is always speaking for you? I'm just wondering. Why is Chris always speaking for you?
Fire away, babe. Go ahead.
If you're not there, Chris, hold on. If you're not there, people want to know this. If you're not there, how can you answer all the questions?
So if you notice, there's certain questions that you're asking, I'm not saying anything about. So as soon as you start talking about Sunday,
yeah. Okay. So
I don't say nothing. Saturday, I don't say nothing. But anything after that, from the 6th, from midnight to 6,
okay,
being on the phone with her prior to, yeah. I can answer those questions.
Does she want to come on?
No.
Okay,
We ain't
that's
going
fine.
that route.
Okay, that's absolutely
Well,
Babe, if you want to answer, go for it.
no, I don't understand why it's a problem that my husband helps talk. I mean, I get that y'all want to hear my voice more, but honestly, half the time it's because I'm crying or I'm honestly, I don't have words to explain what I am anymore.
Because it's like this, people, it's enough.
Okay, guys, I just want to pop in here. She doesn't have words to explain how she feels, right? She said she's too emotional to be on camera, only show my hands, right? Now, I want to take us to Dateline NBC, the article, right, where Katie is not speaking to Dateline like we usually see Dateline. Dateline NBC has a format. Dateline NBC has always had a format, okay? I'm a diehard Dateline NBC fan, okay? Not so much anymore. Thanks a lot, Chris and Katie, for ruining America's Most Wanted and Dateline NBC. Thanks a heap. Good to see you guys coming in. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you so much, Red Eye LAX to Boston. Also saw Mama Cedar Street. So good to see you. Texas Plain Jane, Elisa P. Thank you all for being here. I just kind of want to keep this all going in a good flow, but I'm so happy to have you here. And thank you all so much for caring about Sebastian, what the truth is. We want the truth. Katie, we don't care if you don't want to talk. We don't care if your husband wants to talk for you. We want to hear from you. You were the one that was supposedly last with him. That's what you keep saying. That's the consistent part of your story, that Chris was nowhere around. That's not the consistent part of Chris's story. Let's get into it. Because here's some major inconsistencies in Katie's story and her timeline when she talked to Dateline NBC, right? So let's watch.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here, coming at you with another raw narrative. Let's look at Missing in America, Dateline NBC. Family of Tennessee teen Sebastian Rogers still without answers more than a year after his disappearance. The 15-year-old, who is on the autism spectrum, was not in his bedroom on the morning of February 26, 2024, and has not been seen since.
He does have a lot of personality. I mean, he's got that teenage attitude going on where he's all over the place. So one minute he's angry, and next minute he's laughing and joking, and the next minute he's like, "I'm going to my room." What are you doing? Nothing. I don't want to know.
Sweet
But
baby.
it's still-
This article was put out April 3rd, 2025 by Anna Turning. Katie Proudfoot recalls the evening of Sunday, February 25th, 2024 as a typical one at home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Her 15-year-old son, Sebastian Rogers, got ready for bed around 9 p.m. said I love you to his mom and his 2 dogs, and then headed to his bedroom for the night. Katie remembers hearing a noise come from Sebastian's room around 10 p.m. I hollered out to him and he answered me, Katie said. I didn't think a whole lot of it.
What are you doing? Nothing. I don't want to know.
About an hour later, Katie went to bed. She had no idea her life would be very different in the morning. Monday morning, Katie went to her son's room. It was about 6 in the morning when I went to wake him up for school. Katie said, I went in his room and I was like, dude, time to get up. Normally he will like turn and look, and he didn't. And I realized he wasn't in bed, Katie said. I'm going to have to call bullshit on this one. Unless Sebastian arranged his pillows as if he was trying to sneak out of the house, then Katie would have known that Sebastian wasn't in his bed when she went into his room, because all she would have had to do is look at his bed and know that he wasn't in there. The following moments are every parent's worst nightmare. I looked everywhere in and around the house. I couldn't find him, Katie said. I checked his bathroom and he wasn't there. And I was like, okay, well, maybe he went to the kitchen. You know, maybe he got up before me. And so I went through the house. And when I didn't see him is when I was starting to panic a little bit, Katie said. And I ran through the house, like literally every area of the house, everywhere. And that's when I really started to panic. Katie says she jumped in her car and began driving around the neighborhood. Katie also called her husband, Chris, Sebastian's stepfather, who was out of town on a business trip at the time. It's like terror, Katie told Dateline. What happened? Where did he go? I was in my car and I stopped and asked one of the ladies walking her dog, and she was like, no, I haven't seen him. And it really started to kick in at that point, Katie said. Katie says she then headed to Sebastian's school and got on a 3-way call with Chris and the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. By the time she got there, she was told to turn around and head home because law enforcement was headed to their house. It was just like more and more people were coming and everyone was looking, and every time someone came back and they didn't have him, Katie couldn't finish the thought. Sebastian is on the autism spectrum. You wouldn't recognize him as a special needs person just by looking at him, Katie said. He is smart and capable and functional, but he does have areas that he struggles in. Katie told Dateline that Sebastian does respond differently in certain situations. He does have that sensory issue with loud noises, specifically like spontaneous ones. So he does avoid sudden loud noises, she said. He also hates bugs and would avoid any area where he saw one, according to his mother. What Sebastian loves is water. Swims like a fish, Katie said. The search efforts for Sebastian were immediate and intense. This was a very large-scale response. Sheriff Eric Craddock of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office told Dateline via email. Craddock directed Dateline to the TBI newsroom for more information. That morning, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office issued a missing persons report to begin efforts to locate Sebastian. A TBI endangered child alert was pushed out and was then elevated to a statewide Amber Alert, the website states. Due to Sebastian's love of water, pools in the neighborhood were searched, dive teams were brought in, and bodies of water around the neighborhood and beyond that area were searched, including caves. In his email to Dateline, Sheriff Craddock elaborated on what resources were used in the search for Sebastian. Everything: foot, canine, drone, air assets, fixed wing and helicopter, horse-mounted patrol, USAR or United States Army Reserve. Resources from across the state and federal government assisted with the case, he wrote. The search during the week he went missing was extremely large scale. The sheriff's office even employed some unconventional search methods in its attempt to locate Sebastian. Notably, they encouraged those participating in the search to play Sebastian's favorite music in an attempt to draw him out. This advice was called in by a citizen. I tried and will continue to try anything to bring a resolution to this case, Craddock said. Despite the intense search efforts, no clues were turned up that led authorities to Sebastian's whereabouts. According to Sheriff Craddock, the Amber Alert for Sebastian is still active. Katie believes that wherever Sebastian went, quote, he had every intention of coming back home, end quote. He was excited to start taking agriculture classes at school. They actually have animals in the school that the kids will work with as they advance through the classes, Katie said. And that was what he really wanted. He wanted to get in there and start working with the animals. Sheriff Craddock wants to assure the public that the investigation into Sebastian's disappearance is active and ongoing. Our team is committed to following every lead, analyzing every piece of evidence, and uncovering the truth about what happened to Sebastian Rogers, he wrote in a statement to Dateline. We understand the community's deep concern and desire for answers, and we share that concern. However, I urge everyone to rely on verified information from law enforcement rather than online speculation. Misinformation can hinder the investigation and distract from our efforts to bring Sebastian home. The sheriff would not comment on whether authorities suspect foul play or have any persons of interest in the case. Our priority is finding Sebastian and bringing resolution to his family in this community, he wrote. If you have any credible information, we ask that you come forward and report it to appropriate authorities. Together, we will seek justice and the truth. At the time of his disappearance, Sebastian was 5'5" and 120 pounds. He would be 16 years old today. He has brown eyes, blondish brown hair, and was last known to be wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and black framed glasses. The Proudfoots believe Sebastian may not have been wearing shoes when he disappeared. Every pair of shoes in this house have been accounted for, Chris Proudfoot told Dateline. All the shoes that I can think of that we had in the house. Katie and Chris want to make the public aware of some of Sebastian's identifying features and tendencies. He has large freckles on the back of his neck and walks on his toes. He also has a unique run, putting his arms slightly behind his back and leaning forward. They urge anyone who thinks they see Sebastian to not approach him, but instead take pictures and call 911. Let law enforcement handle it if somebody spots him. But please stay vigilant, Chris said. The TBI newsroom asks anyone with credible information about Sebastian to reach out to the TBI tip line at 1-800-TBI-FIND. If the tip includes a possible sighting, pictures should be sent to tips2tbi@tbi.tn.gov. The sheriff urges any photographic information to be sent immediately as time may be of the essence in relevant sightings, the website states. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $50,000 for information leading to Sebastian's whereabouts.
Okay, guys, so I just want to show that really quick, right? Just keep that in mind that they're saying that any photographic evidence, any type of photographic evidence, they want it sent to them, right? Okay, so we got that. Let me take this off for a second and grab something else for you. Now, this is what they released yesterday, right? And this is mainly from the statements of the TBI. This is the FBI press release. And this is what they said. And now I want you to remember Katie's story, right? We just watched it. We just watched and listened to what Katie had to say, what Chris had to say, what Seth had to say, right? About the story, about the day that they found out that Sebastian was missing. And the person who they found that out from, was Katie, because Katie was the one that notified everyone when she went to wake up Sebastian for school. He wasn't there. He wasn't in his bed. He went poof, right? He went poof. And she was the last one with him the night before. The only one with him, according to her, the night before. According to this, she was the last one with her son. According to this, right? Oh, sorry, I did have it up. My bad. I'm sorry. Okay. So let's get into this. Just released last night, September 4th, 2025. Searching for Sebastian Rogers, the FBI is offering a reward of up to $50,000 for information leading to Sebastian's whereabouts. Here's Sebastian. On February 26th, 2025, Katie Proudfoot went to wake up her 14-year-old son. 14-year-old son. 14-year-old son for school. So right off the bat, misinformation. Who spreads misinformation? You spread misinformation. I don't spread misinformation. You spread misinformation. TBI, do better. Eric Craddock, quit saying that we're spreading misinformation when the first bit that we're reading in the first sentence is spreading misinformation. You're spreading misinformation. Sebastian went missing when he was 14. I don't think so. Sebastian went missing when he was 15 years old. Get it right. Or get find a new job. You're not good at what you're doing. Neither are you, Brandon Carter. You suck. To her surprise, he was nowhere to be found. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers had spent the previous day with his mother. The pair shopped at the department store, played video games at a bowling alley, and had dinner at a local restaurant before heading home for the evening. After returning to their home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, Katie and Sebastian prepared for bed, saying goodnight sometime between 9 and 10 p.m. This is their understanding, guys. Just want to throw that out there. Katie told us a little bit before 10 p.m. she heard a loud bang coming from Sebastian's room, so she yelled out to ask him if he was okay, to which he responded that he was, said Brandon Carter from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, Tennessee. She told him to go to bed because they had to be up early for school the next morning. That's not what happened. That's not what Katie said. And you're lying. You're quoting Katie. You're misquoting Katie. You're spreading misinformation. You're spreading misinformation. It is precisely that. All this write-up is CP and KP's narrative. And they're putting words into her mouth and they're saying that she said this. And that is not what she said. We just watched it in several different instances. Hey, Lori, we just watched it in all of these different instances. So tell me that I'm spreading misinformation when you're misquoting Katie in the highlighted portion that we see on the screen. Come the fuck on. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely insane, right? Katie called her husband, who was out of town in Southwest Tennessee for work, and the two of them spoke for nearly 2 hours before she went to sleep around midnight. I told her to put the dogs up and go to bed. I was studying some pages for my school, and I was falling asleep, and I was talking to Chris, and I put the dogs up. But yet we did, the dogs don't sleep in the pen when Chris isn't in town, and Chris wasn't supposed to be in town. Come on. The next morning was the beginning of what would become a massive search effort for Sebastian. Katie called her husband and told him that she couldn't find Sebastian, that he wasn't in his room or anywhere in the house, said Carter. Katie got into her car and drove around the neighborhood and to Sebastian's school, which was less than a mile away from their house, searching for Sebastian before returning home. Misinformation. Okay. Here's a time-stamped photograph, right, of the bus coming by in the morning. This is the time where Katie was out and about, 6:20-ish in the morning, looking for Sebastian with her window rolled up and going at a rate of speed where that is not probable. Okay? We'll continue. In the early days, let me back up. Sorry. During this time, her husband called the local emergency communication center to report Sebastian missing. Nothing about a three-way call. Nothing about a three-way call at all. Not at all. The local emergency communication center. You mean the sheriff's office? Because that's what he said he called instead of 911. And he still had his panties in a twist over it when he talked to the McCoys in what, October of 2024? Was still worried about that. Was still really worried about that. Okay. I'm just trying to remind everyone, because this is bullshit that they put out. Complete and total slop. In the early days of the search, it seems Sebastian vanished without a trace. Impossible. Again, impossible. Misinformation. It is impossible for someone to vanish without a trace. It just means somebody knows where they are and they're not going to speak up. It just means somebody knows what happened. Even if it's someone who ran away, they know what happened. And they're somewhere out there and someone will come upon them. So no one just vanishes without a trace. This is impossible misinformation. Misinformation alert, misinformation alert. Now, this case was kind of a question mark, said FBI Nashville Special Agent, FBI Nashville Special Agent Robert Barrett. We're going to be looking into who that gentleman is because I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So if you guys, don't know, and maybe if you know in the chat, let us know. But to my knowledge, I don't know who this clown is or where he fits into the puzzle here. But just the statement alone tells me this man is a clown. An ass clown. With a capital A. For ass clown. All right. Mom wakes up and he is just gone. Ass clown. There's a question mark. We've got to figure it out. What happened? Come on, guys. What a little PUSSY. Are you kidding me right now? Is this the best that we can do? I don't think so. I don't think so. Nothing makes me more upset than to see them lying on Sebastian with his picture right next to where they're lying. A picture right next to where they're saying, oh, I'm a special agent. Robert Barrett, I'm a special agent. Look at my badge. There's a huge question mark. Oh. Bull crap, there's a huge question mark. My ass, after 18 months, you have a huge question mark? Maybe you need to shove it where the sun doesn't shine. That question mark only grew bigger as the search went on. What, you mean the 7-day search? You mean the search that they did for 7 days? You mean the piddly little landfill search that they said was just precautionary? Or are you maybe talking about when the United Cajun Navy came in and so they went out and gave their best college try one more time just because of their ego and their lack of effort since the 7-day search? Misinformation alert. Misinformation alert. That is the most bullshit statement. With all due respect, FBI Nashville Special Agent Robert Barrett. Because mom just doesn't wake up and he's gone. And you know it. How many people have you allowed to tell that to you, to your face? How many people have you interrogated that you've allowed to just skate by with that? Because if you have, you're a shit detective. You're an even shittier investigator. And you, again, take the question mark, shove it. Sebastian did not take any clothes, shoes, money, food, or his cell phone, said Carter. This is back to TBI. Brandon Carter, Detective Brandon Carter of the TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. Corrupt as hell, in my opinion. His cell phone and cash were both lying on the dining room table where they had been all day before. When he went to bed, right? So when he went to bed, according to Katie, let's just stop right there. Because this is Brandon Carter quoting Katie again. And we know the first time he was spreading misinformation and mistruths. Hola, punch to the face, Lisa B. Always, for real. Hola, Brandon Carter, hola. Sebastian did not take any clothes, when he went to bed, according to Katie, he did not have any of these items in his room. They were on the dining room table, right? And that's not what we heard from Seth. Seth said that his cell phone was sitting on the counter when he walked in, right? He said none of his shoes were missing. Katie says the same. Katie says the shoes weren't missing. The food was in the cabinet still. His cell phone and his money was sitting on the counter. But why did we hear that his money was in his closet? Why would Sebastian's money and his cell phone be sitting together on the counter or on the table or on the dining room table or anywhere? Tell me that. Riddle me that, Batman. Riddle me that. Why would he have a cell phone and money sitting right on the dining room table, as we're seeing in this bullshit? For what? Because last time I checked, it would be in my piggy bank as a little kid. My cell phone that Sebastian supposedly used as an alarm clock too would have probably been on the charger next to my bedside table, not sitting on the dining room table, not sitting with money and a cell phone together on the dining room table. Misinformation Central. And I'm not going to deal with this. Yet he allegedly took a flashlight. Exactly, Pink. I mean, what the heck? I mean, Pink Warrior says, yet he took his little flashlight allegedly. The little yellow one they're going to describe over here, coming up. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and money in his bedroom. It was supposedly in his closet. That's what was said on It's a Criming Shame. And isn't this certainly a criming shame? What a great name for a channel. Magic Star says, I even heard under his bed for the money. Yeah, I mean, look, maybe he put it in a couple of different places. We heard the story about how Chris Proudfoot read the riot act to Seth for giving his own son. Seth gave Sebastian money, and when he was dropped off, for them to take Sebastian back after his weekend was over, they met up at a restaurant, and Sebastian had, I think it was $40 or $20, something like that. And either way, he gave him some money, and Chris Proudfoot had a fit up his ass about it. For what? He's not your son anyway. So was that the deal? Because he made him keep his money on the dining room table at all times? Give me a break. That is such poppycock, rubbish, hogwash, bullshit, baloney, phony baloney, lies. Straight out, full on lies, too. It's not like, oh, I didn't know any better. I'm ignorant. Bullshit, you're not ignorant. What you are is a liar. Rosebud says, as unhappy as we are with this report, sorry guys, that was Beagle. One thing is that they have labeled these lights to place, which makes it evidentiary. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they've said this whole time too that it wasn't a criminal investigation, and now we're seeing that it is a criminal investigation. I mean, and they have put a spotlight on the lights. And we're going to hear more about the green hoodie too, because Dog has released some information. Again, I'm painting a picture, you guys. And, I just want it to be where people watch this and they see this and they can say, oh, this makes a little bit more sense. This is pieces to a puzzle put together. All of their words, all of their actions, everything. Everything. And to date, what these jackasses are trying to pull on all of us. There was a small yellowish flashlight. According to Katie, there was a small yellowish flashlight that she thinks was missing. But this was the only thing that appeared to be gone from the house. Now, this is from this is from Brandon Carter. Brandon Carter. The first week in the search for Sebastian was massive, right? They go over all their crap that they did. Great for them. It yielded nothing. No scent, no sight, no nothing. So I wouldn't be so fast to brag about all the efforts that you did in the 7 days, because guess what? You got nothing. So maybe you just take the L. Hey, Steph, maybe you just take the L. Maybe you just start being real. Because your misinformation has nothing to do with the reality. It is so far off. You are so wrong. You are so sorry and pitiful. Because even though you did all of that, Carter, 2,000 searchers gave their time. Thank you to the searchers. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. But over all of that acreage, and now you still think that Sebastian just walked off? If you still think that, why aren't you still searching? You're a lying sack of crap. In addition to ground searches, law enforcement employed every available resource at their disposal. Ooh, even an airplane. Ooh, yay. Whatever. So, during the 2 days of searching, Sumner County Sheriff's Office reached out to the FBI for assistance. Specific resources that could potentially help find Sebastian. Okay? Now here, I conducted our FBI Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, right? CARD team, guys. CARD team. Deployed for initial consults. Okay? In the first 7 days, right? They brought in an FBI behavioral analyst to assess the situation. So there's an entire unit from the FBI that came down that analyzes behaviors, right? And then they started thinking about the water, that autistic children are drawn to water, and also that there's fatal outcomes associated with that. So they started searching the waterways, right? But even then, they realized that Sebastian wasn't out there. Even then, they realized, or they should have, speaking with the parents, if they did their due diligence, then they would know that Sebastian doesn't really like to get dirty. He doesn't like bugs. He doesn't like ponds, lakes, rivers to swim in. He knows the difference. You fish in one, you swim in the pool, right? He doesn't like it. Maybe because he can't see the bottom. Maybe because it's more vast. He's a pool kid. They've all said it. So why would you expend your resources doing that, especially when Sebastian doesn't have any history of running away? My son's not a runner. He doesn't run. Or did you tell a different story to the FBI, TBI, or what, Katie? The lack of answers in the search for Sebastian pushed the community to widely share the story on online platforms, but law enforcement reminds the public to be wary of misinformation from unverified sources. Guess what? I don't spread misinformation, but you do. 14-year-old Sebastian was 15 when he went missing. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was 15. Misspreaders of misinformation, and you can't even fix the typo. Hello, anybody want to fix this? Because when I make a mistake, I fix it. I come up here and I eat a big piece of humble pie. Would you like a slice? Would you like a slice? I'll fix you one up. Now, CARD team was deployed. BAU, Behavioral Analysis Unit, CARD CARD team. The whole time, Chris and Katie kept spreading misinformation, saying that this was never a criminal investigation, yet here we are. And it says, quote, "We have followed through on every tip that has come in," said Josh Savely, special agent in charge of the Criminal Investigation Division at the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. "Some of those tips we continue to examine at a deeper level, but the vast majority we have cleared. as either being irrelevant or ended with no results. Which one was the flashlight video, and have you analyzed that one? Because I have to tell you, they haven't come out with any information that has led me to believe that they did any type of analysis, because if they did, they would show us. Show me. Card only, the card team only does certain cases, right? Abduction, they're a child abduction unit. That's what they specialize in. Hey, Narita. I know, it's crazy, right? The lack of answers for the search for Sebastian has pushed the community to widely share the story on platforms, but we're spreading misinformation. Nope, you are. Sebastian's disappearance has deeply affected the community, said Carter. We understand the desire for the community to want answers and for us to explain every step of the investigation. No, we don't want you to explain every step. We want you to tell the truth. We want you to be transparent, but you're not. Far from it. Actually, you're spreading misinformation, because Sebastian's 15 when he went missing. He had a 16th birthday back in December the 7th of 2024, and now he has a birthday coming up. Where's Sebastian? And we are focusing on what matters most, and believe me, you'll see it at PigFest. You'll see it at PigFest when we were wearing all of our t-shirts. You'll see it. We're going to stand together just like you want us to, and just like you're quoted here. Sebastian's disappearance has deeply affected our community. Staying united and supportive will bring us closer to the answers that we're looking for. Detective Brandon Carter of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Well, kumbaya fucking ya to you too. I will see you there with my t-shirt on for Sebastian. We'll get together on that. Will you be wearing something supporting Sebastian? Will you have a green bracelet on supporting Sebastian? Will you be wearing a green ribbon, sir? Will you be wearing a green ribbon, sir? For Sebastian. Because by God, you need to be. You need to be taking it seriously. You need to do your job and find Sebastian. Now, Eric Craddock, I'm not going to go ahead and quote him again, because he really makes me sick. I don't like quoting Snuggle Struggle. But please go over, guys, and read this for yourselves as well. And here's the link. Okay. But I want to get to this green hoodie situation. The person in the green hoodie theory. Now, Dog the Bounty Hunter, again, thank you. Shout out to Dog the Bounty Hunter. Shout out to Nick at Night. Nick the Hat. Love you. Thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for spreading awareness about Sebastian. Thank you for trying to search for the truth and answers. I really appreciate you. Dog, thank you for sharing this information with us. Now, I want to go ahead and give the stage to these jackasses before we get some truth, right? Because we've heard a lot of lies right now, guys. I'm sorry. This live has been full of lies and bullshit and nastiness. Nastiness. And I will go ahead and just spew that out a little bit longer. A little bit longer. And so we have something good to share from Dog, and he's been working on it. He came into the chat last night, said he's working on it. Nick came in, said hello to us. Guys, they're working on it. They take the time out to come over here and say hello to all of us. There's 93 of us in the chat. My channel is so small. It's 3,000 people, right? 3,000 beautiful, wonderful people. Quality people. I have never bought one single subscriber that's a bot or anything like that. Never have I ever, right? And never will I ever, because I want a core group of individuals that cares about these cases and that wants to help me find the answers to the truth. That's all I care about. Thank you, Lisa B. Always. Look at the date at the beginning. They got that wrong. Oh, okay. Hold on one second, guys. I will go look. Thank you so much for your super chat. Lisa B. Always has the best eyes. I mean, nothing gets past Lisa B. Always. I love you, Lisa B. She's so cool. She'll like nothing gets past her, I swear. All right, so hold on, hold on one second. And I'm gonna read this crud really quick. The person in the green hoodie theory. A video surfaced of Sebastian and Katie in the parking lot of a local restaurant, right? We all know it's the Texas Roadhouse. They visited the night Sebastian disappeared. That's the one that was referred to in the beginning of the article. In the video, a person in a green hoodie briefly interacts with Katie. Now, they leave all of the other suspicious activities out, just pointing that out really quick, right? Because suspicions did arise, right? But for all of us, suspicions arose, right? That in this short interaction, now this is a lie because this is not what we're speculating on. What our suspicions are is that something was handed off quickly, not that anything was planned. So let's just get that part straight before we proceed with this nastiness, right? In this short interaction, the person in the green hoodie was planning something with Katie, with Katie related to Sebastian's disappearance, right? So, oh, Katie's over there. Oh, she's planning. No, she's not. Whatever was going down was already planned. Whatever was going down was already planned. We've never said that, ever. So get it right, Brandon Carter. Get it right, whoever wrote this crap down here at the press release. Whoever wrote this crap, like I said, might be time for a career change. So, law enforcement spoke with employees at the restaurant who confirmed this person in the green hoodie was a frequent customer, right, a regular, and helped identify them. Law enforcement went to meet this person who happened to be wearing a green hoodie in the video and confirmed suspect, right? Who happened to wear a green hoodie. And I don't know what the hell that is. That's weird. Right? Who happened to be wearing the same green hoodie in the video. And confirm they are not a suspect. I mean, it stinks. It stinks. It's horrible. It reeks. You know, it's so gross. Look at the date at the beginning. They got it wrong. Okay, log. I'm going to go back up to the beginning really quick. I'm sorry. I wanted to check this out. Oh, where they say February 26th. Yes, Lisa B. That's right. That's right. Because look, okay, here's this, guys. Right? I'm just going to highlight it for us on the screen. Absolutely, Lisa B. And then watch this. This was recently released at the year mark, guys. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was last seen February 25th, 2024. Here, on here, it's saying on February 26th, 2024. Right? But they keep changing it around. They keep changing it around. And then they also, this is another inconsistency, between 9 and 10 p.m. Right? But Katie says that he went to bed. Another one was a little bit before 10 p.m. Right? Because Katie said that there was the thud, right? Not a loud bang. She first said it was a noise. Then she said it was a thud. Now it's a loud bang coming from Carter, right? Talk about spreading misinformation. Misinformation. Don't listen to the YouTubers because they're pointing out our flaws and lies. And we're not man enough to admit them. We're not man enough to admit them. Right? Okay, so now with At Night, guys, we're gonna go back over there. Thank you guys so much for being here. And welcome in everyone. Give me 1 second. Shout out to everyone that's cooking dinner right now. Hey, Vic. I know you guys are probably cooking and listening, so I'm going to read all this to you. Just bear with me. All right. Now, this is from At Night. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Rosebud. And Nero V. I'm just shouting out everybody that I don't know if I saw you guys earlier. And I saw Bobby. Okay. Hey, Little Redo. Good to see you, girl. Okay. So we got Beagle. Hold on a second, bud. Okay, so At Night and Dog the Bounty Hunter call for clarification on Green Hoodie narrative in Sebastian Rogers case. For immediate release, joint statement by At Night Creative Intelligence and One World Society addressed to national media, federal and local agencies, and the general public. Thank you. At Night and Dog the Bounty Hunter call for clarification on Green Hoodie narrative in Sebastian Rogers case. Right, here's Sebastian. Beautiful new flyer, nice and bright. Can read everything in here. $500,000 reward. Have you seen me? Bring Sebastian home, guys. Call 844-922-3236. For information sought by Dog the Bounty Hunter, Sebastian, who is 16, was last seen on February 25th, 2024 in Sumner County, Tennessee. Please call. Information, guys. The best way to get information to everyone, law enforcement, Dog the Bounty Hunter, everyone that is looking for Sebastian. If you think you have something fishy that maybe could be an internal affairs issue or conflict of interest, I would highly recommend sending it to Dog's email. I would. Because if you send it to law enforcement, you're calling the police on the police, right? Like our friend Terry. Call the police on the police, he says. He's so funny. Yeah, call the police on the police, sure. All right, so this is what I'm saying right now, okay? 844-922-3236, or you can also email mostwanted@manhunts.one. mostwanted@manhunts.one. You can call or text 844-922-3236, guys, with any tips. You'll see the reward terms if you go to oneworldmedia.com. co/PR/, right? Okay, Dog the Bounty Hunter, $500,000 reward, guys, for Sebastian Rogers. Don't forget, Summer Wells is also a part of that. Okay? We need to find Summer. We need to find these kids. These kids are out there somewhere, and someone knows where they are. Beautiful Summer Wells, someone knows where you are. Someone knows where you are, Summer, and we care about you. Beautiful Summer Wells, you guys. She is out there somewhere. She is out there somewhere. She didn't poof. Okay? So now that we got that over with, because I want to keep this, like I said, guys, going back and forth with these statements. And this is coming from At Night, right? Because they have been doing their independent research. But here the FBI just released saying there is a green hoodie theory, right? They call it a green hoodie theory. Law enforcement spoke with the employees at the restaurant who confirmed this person in the green hoodie was a frequent customer, a regular of this establishment, the Texas Roadhouse, right? And helped identify them. Law enforcement went to meet this person who happened to be wearing the same green hoodie in the video and confirmed they are not a suspect. That is a direct quote from the website that I just sent the link down to, guys. Now, I want to show you this from At Night and read it. Fort Worth, Texas, September 5th, 2025. At Night Private Intelligence Agency respectfully requests narrow evidence-based clarification from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and its federal partners regarding public statements about the person in the green hoodie seen the night Sebastian Rogers dined at Texas Roadhouse, Hendersonville. We support legitimate subject clearance. Our ask is to align the new public recap with Texas Roadhouse's contemporaneous report December 8th, 2024, and the preservation steps taken by Texas Roadhouse Support Center corporate so the community can distinguish rumor from fact and keep focused on finding Sebastian. The FBI's September 4th, 2025 article, right, the one I just referenced and quoted, states that the restaurant employees confirmed the person in the green hoodie was a frequent customer, helped identify the individual, and that law enforcement met the person reportedly wearing the same hoodie and confirmed they were not a suspect. According to Texas Roadhouse Hendersonville, exterior and interior video show the individual in the green hoodie appeared earlier near a vehicle. Then the widely circulated crossing movement, right? We witnessed that ourselves, then entered immediately after the mother and son passed outside, walked around the bar directly into the ladies' room, right? Made no purchase, and exited within minutes the same way. Texas Roadhouse characterized that sequence as typical for a busy Sunday night. People generally do not come in from the lot just to use the restroom and leave. Thank you very much. I've said that before, being that I've worked in an establishment like this, right? A restaurant in general. You don't see that. It's not typical. It's odd. It's off. Even Jennifer Coffindaffer found it to be odd. 25-year retired FBI. Okay. I mean, I know some people think whatever, we think different, whatever, but I mean, I'm just pointing it out. Now, this part I wanted to highlight. Give me a second. So, Texas Roadhouse further reported that the person entered the ladies' room 100%, and based on the observations, mannerisms was likely female, right? Because I know we were calling this person a shim and everything. I don't want to be disrespectful to this person at all. This person, we don't know this person, whatever. But here we go. Okay, because this is what they're alleging. And I'm just gonna put it out there. Their analysis to me is more credible, and I found them to be more credible. So I'm just gonna put it out there. But for these intents and purposes, I want to be fair so that you all can make a fair assessment as well. Okay, so just putting that out there. But now, this person went into a ladies' room by her choice, saying that, I'm a female, I use the female restroom, right? There is a distinction at the restaurant. There's a men's room, there's a ladies' room, right? And so she didn't go to the men's room, she went to the ladies' room. This is what they're saying. 100%, and based on observation, mannerisms was likely female. These revenue-specific details shaped Texas Roadhouse's understanding of the scene that evening and remain material to any accurate reconstruction of events, right? Texas Roadhouse also reports that on or about December 8th, 2024, it called the List case detective back within roughly 30 minutes, left the voicemail as directed, and never received a return call back. A follow-up the next morning likewise produced no response. As documented in the same conversation, a team member told Texas Roadhouse, "You're the fifth person I've heard with the same experience," while another added, "He should have been their first priority. This is the place," right? So Texas Roadhouse was additionally told of a phone tree, right? So they were told about a phone tree, retired mailbox runaround, right? In which callers reached an old mailbox for someone retired years ago, and then automated system press 3, press 2, just to reach the detective's voicemail, with a practical takeaway that one must be very persistent, right? Or that you're getting the runaround. I believe that too. Like, absolutely. Texas Roadhouse's response was plain. I don't have time to play that game. I deal with people, not phone trees. It also noted a missed no caller ID return during a restaurant rush because no calls were not returned. Texas Roadhouse reached out to Dog the Bounty Hunter's team to ensure the big picture conveyed by its interior and exterior camera sequence was being understood. Okay, right? So here's another important detail. Texas Roadhouse reached out to Dog the Bounty Hunter's team to ensure that the big picture conveyed by its interior and exterior camera sequence was being understood. Separately, the Texas Roadhouse Support Center, which was the corporate office, right? I told you guys it's a franchise, right? So they have corporate. Was instructed to record and save all relevant footage from the date in question. At that time, Texas Roadhouse reported it was not known whether local or state authorities had subpoenaed Support Center for those materials. Now, this is another important detail, right? Because these things have to be subpoenaed, right? By the law enforcement has to do their job. In other words, law enforcement has to do their job in order for you to get that kind of information from a corporation, right? A business, unless it's a mom and pop, but also, you know, they might not want to give up the footage. But most of the time, a corporate run business will say, we need to make sure, let me get the manager, you know, the police usually have to request these things, and that would be by subpoena, right? At the end of the day, they have to do their job first and foremost. They have to care enough. They have to want to find Sebastian. This preservation step underscores that a complete synchronized review of the exterior and interior angles, either approach to the vehicle, the crossing movement, the immediate entry, the bar to ladies' room path, and the quick exit remain central to resolving any outstanding uncertainty about the green hoodie sequence and to preventing partial clips from driving public narrative, right? That's all we want is answers and the truth. The current public narrative emphasizes that employees identified a frequent customer that law enforcement then located and cleared the person. At night does not dispute this outcome. If law enforcement really cleared the individual that is constructive for the case, what require, excuse me, let me just reread that part. That is constructive for the case. So law enforcement is saying that they've cleared the green hoodie, and they came out with a statement too when they did clear the green hoodie, because they were really worried about us speculating on the green hoodie, in my opinion. Or a warrant. Thank you. Exactly, Red Eye. Or a warrant. Hey, Trent. Good to see you, Trent. Thank you for being here. Oh. Aw. Thanks, Trent, for being here. I really appreciate you, hon. Okay, so let's see. Where was I here? Oh, sorry, guys. I just lost my path my path here. Okay, so if law enforcement rightly cleared the individual that is constructive for the case, what requires clarification is the documented basis of the frequent customer claims and how it reconciles with the Texas Roadhouse record above, right? Specifically, we request identification of who, when, how any frequent customer identification was made, confirmation that investigators reviewed and logged that interior path, ladies' room exit and no purchase, quick exit pattern, and any explanation of how Texas Roadhouse unreturned calls on or about December 8th, 2024, square with the assertion that employees provided the pivotal customer identification. Clarity on these narrow points will strengthen public confidence without compromising the investigation, right? We are not asking for details that are going to mess anything up or impede anything. That's not what we want. The last thing that any of us want is for the integrity of this investigation to be tarnished even a little bit, because this is such a high profile case. These people have gotten away with it for so long. There is such a level of corruption that we have to bring the facts and we have to get it right in order to get a conviction on the people that we think have had something to do with Sebastian's disappearance, which is impossible for someone to disappear. We remain. At Night applauds legitimate subject clearance and supports law enforcement efforts, and Cynthia Lee, Global Ownership Liaison and Senior Representative of One World. Our goal is narrow and constructive, align the public narrative with Texas Roadhouse's contemporaneous I'm sorry, did I miss something? Oh, okay. Align the public narrative with Texas Roadhouse's contemporaneous view, facts, and corporate presentation steps so that the community sees, right? We have to see it. We have to see the same big picture. The Texas Roadhouse reported. The more accurate the record, the faster we can all move in the same direction toward finding Sebastian, right? When we can all kind of align with what is going on and understand the facts. It's all about understanding the facts. It's not somebody's, there's no malice in not understanding or being ignorant at all. It's simply that you don't understand. When you know better, you do better. All right. For completeness, Texas Roadhouse also stated in a separate call segment that regarding the individual seen between vehicles, I do not know who that is. We have no video of inside where he comes in. That contemporaneous non-recognition sits uneasy alongside a later frequent customer characterization, right? It's very uneasy. Absolutely makes me uneasy, right? So when we I'm sorry, let's look. I do not know who that is. We have no video of inside where he comes in, right? We don't have any video of that. That is the first quote that we hear, right? I do not know who that is. We have no video of inside where he comes in, right? The green hoodie. Now, this is contemporaneous. It's non-recognition, right? It sits very uneasy alongside of a later quote of them being a frequent customer. So their later statement says they're a frequent customer, and that's how they're characterized, right? Unless it's clearly explained as arising from a different staff member, shift, or subsequent identification method. Right? Where are you coming up with this? In other words, where are you coming up with this poop? Where are you coming up with this crap that you're trying to feed us? Because I'm not buying it. Peddle it somewhere else. We don't believe you. And it makes it even more suspicious, in my opinion. Clarifying this sequence will help the public understand when the identification occurred and which restaurant personnel made it, without conflating without conflating post hoc recognition with the revenue. I don't know why I can't say that. Venues, excuse me, I keep wanting to say revenues. I say venues. With the venue's immediate observations from At Night. So here we go. And this is all the receipts that they've posted. Texas Roadhouse phone interview, December 8th, 2024, at night, case number, right? They have all of it. It's in their file. Dog the Bounty Hunter joint at night, right? They redacted some of it. And you can see it all here. It's just basically saying that they've cleared the information from that said time. I think I can just click through this. Okay. Hi, how are you? Dog the Bounty Hunter team. Returning a call, dog. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Okay, I can hear you better. What's your name again? I'm here, blank. I'm blank. Is here as well. Good. I'm the blank at the Hendersonville location where Sebastian was last seen. I'm sure you've done your due diligence and looked at the footage. Dog worked with support center to get that, to get what was needed. It's all over social media now, right? It's all over social media now. I just want to make sure you guys can see this. I wonder if I can make it a little bit bigger. But I'm going to read it all for you guys. I'm just going to read it all for you. So just bear with me here. And again, thank you so much to Dog the Bounty Hunter and at World, One World at Night and One World for doing this for us, right? These are the kind of things in the clarification that we're looking for. These are the things that we can qualify as, you know, fact or fiction. Okay. Let's see. On or about blank, do you want to explain the situation? Right. And for context, is our lead remote agent on Dog's team. We were still reviewing when a PI licensed in Tennessee either got the video or screenshots and posted screenshots on Twitter to push blank own narrative. That's why we shared points of interest to steer the public towards what the video actually shows, not speculation. Texas Roadhouse, right? Looking at the footage with no outside info, it's clear people aren't seeing that person who passes by in front of a vehicle had already appeared in frame about a minute and a half earlier, walked up and stood at that door. Or excuse me, it walked up and stood at the car, right? We don't want to publicize that yet. We don't want this person to run. You guys understand? This is where people are keeping certain aspects of it close to the vest, right? And that's in order not to make somebody get scared and run away or not want to talk. Those are the things that typically aren't shared in order to quote them, not to, you know, harm the integrity of the investigation, right? But this just brings more clarity, in my opinion. And I'll read it again. Right. We're looking at the footage with no outside info. It's clear people aren't seeing that the person who passes by in front of the vehicle had already appeared in the frame about a minute and a half earlier, walked up and stood at the car. We don't want to publicize that yet. We don't want this person to run. Downplay it, which worried us because people stopped looking for him. We wanted to raise awareness without labeling anyone as a suspect. The Texas Roadhouse people says the individual who passed them and came into the restaurant went into the ladies' room. People don't realize that. The image isn't perfect at that distance, but there's a strong resemblance to blank who blank 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 blankety blank. We're aware, right? That's Dog saying, okay, we're aware of that, right? Texas Roadhouse says that doesn't prove anything by itself, but the bathroom entrance they use is the women's restroom, right? That's just the bathroom they chose, right, guys? So, you know, again, I agree there. Okay. So moving on. On a busy Sunday night, people don't typically walk in the front of the lot just to use the bathroom and leave. It looks like she left after that. I could be wrong. You're talking about the person in the green hoodie, correct? The Texas Roadhouse person says yes. Video: when blank leaves and passes the green hoodie, the individual comes in, walks around the bar, and heads to the ladies' room. And guys, where these blanks are, we can fill in the blanks, right? We can fill in the blanks. I'm not going to fill in the blanks for you. I trust you'll be able to fill in the blanks, okay? So I'm just going to say blank. I'm not going to speculate as to who, but I have filled in the blanks, right? So again, the Texas Roadhouse employee person says, correct, blank, video, right? When blank leaves and passes the green hoodie, that individual comes in, walks around the bar, and heads to the ladies' restroom. Clip ends there, but pretty sure the exterior camera shows the person exiting a couple of minutes after the initial encounter. If we send photos, could you verify 100%, if possible, whether that's blank blank? Other than online images, I can only say it's a strong resemblance. And then there's some redactions. Believes it's blank believes Django Mango. Blank believes it's a woman, not a man, as some online are claiming. I recommend looking that way. I feel there's something going on with blank. The fact that the person went into the women's bathroom is what has me focused. That's a key piece, even if it somehow wasn't a female, I highly doubt. And then then they say the blank put out that it was a man in his 60s and said identified him and claimed and spoke to the Texas Roadhouse. That's a part of why we shared footage points. They said it was a 60-something man and now his life is in danger, but blank knew who pushed that. If it was a 60-year-old, no, near where that person walked, the first door on the left is family restroom, and continuing through leads directly to the ladies' restroom, right? Just to put it in perspective. That individual went into the ladies' restroom 100%. From your end, you verified that they walked around the bar. Did they buy anything? Nothing. They came in, went to the bathroom, clip ends there, which is frustrating. But on the exterior footage, I get a small glimpse of their feet. It appears to be the same person exiting the same way they came in along the exterior sidewalk between two vehicles. Again, guys, just want to point that out. It appears to be the same person exiting the same way they came in along the exterior sidewalk between the two vehicles. Did the TBI or Sumner County ask you about this when all this started? The Texas Roadhouse person replies, they came into blank store and tried to speak with a couple of blank, get me a picture of the business card, or get me a picture of the business card so I know who it is, a real detective or inspector. Once that's handled, send it to me. I will contact them. I called, left a voicemail, no response. I called, I left a voicemail, but I got no response. I mean, does it sound familiar? Because it sounds familiar to me. I called again today after reviewing the footage last night. It hit me like a brick wall. I'm worried we're missing a chance to find this young man who could still be alive, right? Who could still be alive, guys? You asked if you should start heading to blank, to the blank. Ask what you need to decide. I've seen enough to know what we're dealing with. It's about identifying that person. I feel like he knew her. He stepped outside. I'm looking for her picture now. I have an old one and I'm grabbing a recent one. I'll start a group chat and send them. Unknown says, I need to see the picture. It's been a while. I wonder if there's a resemblance to the other female who's changed her appearance multiple times. I wonder if there's a resemblance to the other female who's changed her appearance multiple times. If you zoom in after years in this business, I watch blank way this person walks after passing blank doesn't look like a male. It reads as a female mannerisms. Sending the picture now. That's blank, blank, blank. I've seen an old photo and the most recent we have. Texas Roadhouse person says, I'm putting you on speaker. Yeah, that's the one. Blank looked at. Based on the face and the light hair, could be blonde rather than gray. The features fit that body type. Agreed. Blank called me about an hour ago. When I asked if Blank spoke to law enforcement, Blank said yes, yesterday. But Blank can't share Blank gave Blank word. Right? Blank can't share, but Blank gave Blank word. Right? Fill in the blanks. I can go to blank and blank blank, but I think law enforcement might be on the same track. No one should put anything on social. Agreed. We're not posting anything. I can call and ask if I should go, but if he tells me to head out, I will. Texas Roadhouse says perfect. And then there's some redactions. You've been a great spearhead and support. And then Dog's team says we're trying and thank you for being an upstanding business, right? Some redactions. Dog wanted that too. We didn't know it was you, blank, at first. I thought it might be a scam, right? They're always looking out and making sure the information is accurate, thankfully. Totally understand. Also redacted. Same here. Anything Dog can do. He's in Tennessee. Fingers crossed we get resolution and that he's still with us. As a parent, it helps me sleep knowing I'm doing the right thing morally. Oh, finally, we have some morals in the town. And I disagree. I think we need to be sharing it with social media at this juncture. Again, this was a conversation that was had before. In my opinion, we need to know what's going on. No more secrets. Right? Fingers crossed we get a resolution that he's still with us. As a parent, it helps me sleep knowing I'm doing the right thing morally. As a parent, it helps me sleep knowing I'm doing the right thing morally. The best that we can do, right? I'm doing my best because I want to be able to sleep at night knowing that I'm doing my best. But from the start, when TBI and sheriff's partners came in, I showed them the video, let them take it, and provided information. Blank Texas Roadhouse Support Center record and save all the footage. Record. So let me start over. Texas Roadhouse Support Center records and saves all footage from that day because this would be an issue down the road. Whether local LE or TBI subpoenaed support center, I don't know. I'm just glad something recently got enough blank this. When you reached out, was it Detective Carter you were trying to reach? The Texas Roadhouse says correct. Detective Carter, his card was left with my managers. I called him back within 30 minutes, left the voicemail, and directed. Never heard back, right? Called. He left a voicemail as directed, rather. So he says that Detective Carter came into the Texas Roadhouse. He left his card, right, with his contact information with one of the managers, and the Texas Roadhouse owner called him back within 30 minutes. He left the voicemail as he was directed to do, but he never heard back. He never heard back. Called again this morning, nothing. Dog concerned people aren't seeing the big picture. Dog, blank concerned people aren't seeing the big picture. You're the blank person I've heard with the same experience. You're the blank person. So maybe it's been, you're the second, third, fourth, fifth, 100th, right? Could be any number of those things. We just have to fill in the blanks or understand that some of the blanks are there for a reason. But you are the blank person I've heard with the same experience. He should have been their first priority. This is the place. Others have led the same runaround and extension to the old voicemail for someone retired years ago. It just sits there. Again, do your job. Find Sebastian. This is pathetic, guys. This is pathetic. Then an automated system, press 3, 2 to finally get to Carter's voicemail. You have to be very determined and persistent person to reach Detective Carter. Texas Roadhouse says, I don't have time to play that game. I deal with people, not phone trees. I'll push to give whatever info we need to help that boy, or this boy, sorry. That's it, right? So the Texas Roadhouse owner says, I just want to find him. I don't want to deal with this. I don't have time for this. I'm a business owner. Maybe he has other irons in the fire, right, guys? Hey, Tabitha, thanks for being here. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Red flag after red flag after red flag. Holly S. Do we even have any more red flags? I think we ran out of red flags. We need somebody to go get us some. Run down to Walmart, see if they have any. We're about to sell them out. Anybody check Amazon for red flags? Jeez Louise. Right? He's like, I don't play that game. I'm not playing this game. This boy needs to be found. That's what the Texas Roadhouse guy says. This is precisely what Dog came in and said last night. He said, this guy is a nice guy. They care. They just want Sebastian found. Right? That's it. That's all they want. Just as much as we do. And it's nerve-wracking. They're having, obviously if he mentions it, he might be having some, lost nights of sleep because this happened at his establishment. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? It's crazy. It's absolutely Captain Insano. Right? We appreciate it. You have my cell. You need anything, call. I appreciate the follow-up. Thank you for your time. If there's anything I can do, let me know. Will do. Thank you. Appreciate you. Bye. Missing person, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, still missing. Stop lying on this boy. Stop lying on this boy. What has he ever done to anyone to deserve this? Nothing. Nothing. He did nothing to deserve this. He did everything to deserve for people to care, for people to value his life, for people to stop playing games, for people to tell the truth. Look at him. That's Sebastian, so proud of himself that he hit the target. He's so proud of himself, and he should be. He should be out learning new things and trying out new experiences. He should be learning how to drive, or thinking about it at least. Right? Sit in the front seat, sit in the driver's seat, try it out for size. You never know until you try it, right? I mean, guys, it's absolutely sad that, he's not riding the bus home from school. He doesn't get to talk to the school resource officer. He doesn't get to talk to his friends at school. He doesn't get to talk to his teachers who loved him dearly. Thank you, Red Eye. Anybody have any spare red flags, please send them on over because we're running out. Look at Sebastian, guys. Look at him with his favorite snake brownie, with his spiky hair. with his Yorkie Morkies. Though that one in the kitchen looks like he's just chilling with the blanket on, right? Just hanging out, just a regular kid. He should be playing video games with his dad. He should be playing card games with his friends. He should be playing chess. Have you seen me? Have you seen me? I am Sebastian Rogers. My life matters. Never quit. Refuse to quit. That's my favorite one right there. Refuse to quit. Hey, IML. And there's Sebastian lounging in the pink flamingo. There's Sebastian lounging. This picture haunts me right here. If you guys have any information, please reach out. If you see Sebastian, call 911 immediately. Immediately call 911. And if you can stay at the scene, stay at the scene. And why didn't they put the pictures from the Texas Roadhouse out? If that's the last time that we saw Sebastian, why were those pictures not out? Why did we not have a positive ID and license plate for the car in question that most likely prompted and fit the criteria to issue the Amber Alert? To issue an alert for the CARD team, the Child Abduction Rapid Response, right? Time is of the essence. They're not playing. And they shouldn't play when it's a missing child. These are all of the rewards that are out there. $500,000 is where we land. A $500,000 reward for any information leading to Sebastian's disappearance and ultimately resulting in a conviction of whomever may be responsible. Those are the stipulations to my knowledge, but you can go check them out. Either way, Sebastian needs to be found. There is a big cover-up, a level of corruption. Cinderella, again, I believe that to be true. That that smoke behind them, that red smoke, is their lies seeping out. Thank you, Tabitha. Tabitha says, well, I'll do more investigating on it or get a hold of the senator of the state. Can you put the law enforcement of Tennessee in check? Yeah, really. I mean, there's something really wrong with the statements they have made. So I guess the green hoodie is a woman, IML. We were thinking it was a man. The person at the Texas Roadhouse is saying, you know, I see a lot of people, right? I'm a people person. I work with people. I am too. I've always worked with people, guys. I've always had jobs that work with people. And I'm here to tell you, even when a man is dressed like a woman and a woman is dressed like a man, I'm sorry. And I don't want to offend anybody when I say this, so please don't take offense to what I'm saying, because I love all of you guys. You're all included here always. It doesn't, I don't, you know, that doesn't matter to me. It's about having a good heart. Right? It's about thinking for yourself and critical thinking, all of it. Everybody has something important to bring to the table, no matter who you are. But even if you're dressed as the opposite of what you were born as, you still have certain mannerisms that are identifiable, right? And let's just be honest, a man has an Adam's apple and a woman doesn't. So unless it's removed, right, or something like that, that's a big indicator of whether it's a man or a woman. And when I look at those pictures, I don't see an Adam's apple. Right? So I mean, that's one very easy way to identify it, unless we look at medical history and say, oh, you had your Adam's apple removed, you know, something like that. But the whole state is corrupt, Stacey G. Thanks for being here. It is. Guys, I've been digging into Tennessee's corruption, you know, and it's just the history is repeating itself with corruption. Hey Sue, is that governor corrupt as well then, Elisa P? I believe that the governor is. He was literally standing in Katie's kitchen, is what Dog said last night. Literally standing in her kitchen. I thought he was talking about he was in the kitchen on the search and all of that, you know? Hey Vic, thank you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought it was like he was saying it figuratively. No, he was speaking literally in her kitchen. Okay? Now tell me that there is something wrong. I've never had a government official like that, a politician in my kitchen when my kid's missing. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be seeing anybody like that. I would have been in some silver bracelets and I would have been hauled down for questioning. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. If I let it, if my child or any other child in my care just poof disappeared, I would hope that they would take me down to the station and ask me what happened. Talk about losing faith in law enforcement. It's very difficult if you don't live there too. Tabitha Jones says, thanks, I didn't know that. Why is everything going to be so difficult to get anything done in Tennessee? They don't want it public, you know. Even the people that want to help, they don't want it public because it's embarrassing, I'm sure. And it's sad and it's scary. And they don't want to admit that they're not safe. Because they're not. If a beautiful child like Sebastian could be treated this way, think about how any of us would be treated. Think about it. I know, Valley Gale, good to see you. And I think they need to do it on a federal level. There needs to be some oversight. There needs to be checks and balances. Oh, yes. I thought he was talking figuratively, like, because he was involved heavily, right? Like, so I was thinking, like, cooks in the kitchen, right? Like, he was involved. And I'm like, oh, yeah, dog, I did talk about that. Well, actually, no, I was wrong. I didn't talk about that. I talked about him being involved in a weird way. And I didn't realize how closely involved he was. You know, I mean, it's crazy and it's sad. And guys, people from Tennessee are good people. I'm not saying that at all. You know, I mean, there are so many wonderful, wonderful people, good friends that I consider to be friends that I love from that state. So please don't ever think that I'm saying that about the people that live there or grew up there or bashing their town or bashing where they live. I don't like people doing that to me, and I'm certainly not going to do that to anybody else. Exactly. Red Eye says the police must be corrupt. Look at Massachusetts and Kentucky 8. I mean, I haven't gotten into that. I started to when it first came out about Kentucky and the judge. I did. They tried to cover up Holly Bobo too, Holly S. Something is wrong. Something stinks to high heaven, you know, and it's unfortunate. And I wish it wasn't the truth. And I wish I could, you know, say to you guys, gosh, guys, I guess I was really overreacting. And gee whiz, you know, I had that tinfoil hat on. I was thinking full on conspiracy. And look, I am a real jerk. But I refuse to do that with this crap. It will never happen with this crap. None of it is okay to me. As a matter of fact, it's even worse than this mattress pad that may have been associated with Sebastian's case. So we need to get a hold of people again, guys. We need to get a hold of people again. We need to let our voices be known. We need to be Sebastian's voice, because guess what? Katie's not going to be. She refuses to speak. She wants her husband to speak for her because that's what Southern belles do. I know a lot of Southern women who are strong as they come. A lot of you women in the chat. People are people. At the end of the day, we're all human. Let's not continue to divide. Let's unite. We're all people. We all see Sebastian's beautiful smile and we want to know what happened to this child. Always. There isn't one person out there that doesn't. Why do you think when I was handing out flyers, I made sure to show them Sebastian's picture? I made sure they looked at what I was showing them. Because once they saw Sebastian's smile, they couldn't turn away. They had to take it. They had no choice because he's as cute as he can be. Because he's a lovely child. And because he deserves to be home with the people who love him. He deserves everything. What he doesn't deserve is this. Crispy spends all of his time trolling through YouTube. He doesn't deserve that. He deserves your expertise in rescue, search and rescue, Chris and Katie. Where's your expertise on that? And what are you doing on your asses trolling YouTube? And by the way, Chris and Katie, after what we read today, the statements from the owner of the Texas Roadhouse, why'd you run up to the Texas Roadhouse with this guy to get footage of you and your son eating, Katie? Why? You can email me, Katie, ladyfreedomsrawnarratives@gmail.com. We can talk about it. Want to talk about it, Katie? Want to talk about this? You searching for your son with the windows rolled up? Let's talk about that. Because here's proof and evidence that you were riding around at a regular speed with your both windows rolled up. All of the windows were rolled up in the vehicle, and you weren't searching for Sebastian. You were just wanting to get caught on camera, making it look like you were. Google it, y'all. Right? Where is Sebastian, Katie? You would rather sit in court, right, than look for Sebastian? What did he ever do to you? Who made someone vanish, Katie? Why would Sebastian be crying? Why would you lie on him? You don't like the bashing? You don't like the bashing? Was it worth it? Come clean. Come clean. Because Sebastian deserves better. Thanks, guys. I love you guys so very, very, very much. Thank you, Bobby. I know, it's sickening. It's sickening. It's very sick. But guys, I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to put some things together. I have a lot. I know it. Lori, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. I wish I was wrong. I do. But I'll be damned if I'm going to let this beautiful child fall through the cracks again. Because now that we know, how can we forget? And why would we want to? Because then we would be just as bad, just as corrupt as a man who is corrupt, and it condones, right? We would be condoning the corruption that we see in others. We're condoning it if we allow for it. And someone who would do that is not a community leader. He's not someone who deserves a raise. He deserves to be shown for who he is. It's also forked up. It sure is. It sure is. And if I could say that, Lori, without saying the actual word, I so would. But I think that is so funny from that show. Forked up. Shut the front door. You know? But I love you guys, and I appreciate you being here. Let's say prayers for Sebastian. Let's keep spreading awareness. I'm gonna make us a new intro for the day shows, so it doesn't say for tonight's show. It'll say, for today's show. But I'll do some fun things and get some videos to put together, and then I will see you guys tomorrow night, 11:30 Eastern time, and we'll just go from there. Also, guys, I did want to tell you about the update with beautiful Renesmee. Please go watch my video. Look again where we see another parent, right? who is saying that the child was out late at night, right? The child is out late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, 9 years old, malnourished, run down, right? Aw, thank you, Valley Gal. Oh, love you too, Lori. Thank you, Sandy. That's right. We're making movements. Keep pushing. We got to keep pushing. That's right, Sandy. That's right. Together. We can only do it together. I can't do it by myself. I would never be able to. They will not listen to just me. I wish they would. Diane, thank you. Thank you, Diane, for all you're doing too. You know, it just we have if it, once we recognize it's not a direct reflection of the people that are there. We have beautiful people, guys, beautiful people. Look, Sebastian's from Tennessee, kind of, right? We don't want to bash where he's from, so we'll put it that way, right? Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Diane, I'll see you guys. I won't take too long off. I just know I have to get some videos out and I want to do some comparisons too, especially, you know, in light of recent developments, because there's a lot to talk about more, guys. I know I was just kind of reading through it, wasn't as like, you know, impactful, but hopefully you guys kind of got the gist of what was going on with that conversation. I'll try to do another video to kind of put it together, you know, in a more clean format, not the live version. So Red Eye LAX to Boston, I will be on 11:30 Eastern tomorrow night. So I'm just gonna take the night off tonight. So thank you, Lori. Thank you. You guys have a great weekend. I love you all. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you next time.